man. I hate the day.
That's okay,
welcome
man. I'm gonna.
to chat. I hope. Welcome everybody. Well, no, the stream jumped a little early there, a little premature, I guess. But welcome to chat, everybody. We're just getting ready to go. Got some stuff coming up for y'all to watch for a minute, and then maybe some music. But I hope everyone's having a good Saturday afternoon. Jay got probed last night. He said he liked it. He stayed home for a second. Don't ask me. You gotta ask him here whenever you see him. Just ask him. Wednesday's guest is Steven Smith.
Yeah, he got probed. He told me all about it, and he told me with a smile on his face.
No, man, that's just bad. People never have a talk with him. Huh? Oh, Chris, you know the rule. If you ain't here, you get picked on. That's how it is. Yeah, you see, right? It's just future. Shh. Keep dragging. Oh wait, that don't look right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, everybody listen. We pick on everybody on this show. So if you have a problem with it, go.
We pick on everybody on the network unless they're crying babies, and then we fire them. Let's see. I don't think I go back. I just call Michelle. Michelle, fire that asshole. She'll either say, well, maybe not. She don't listen. That's her job. Well, I believe this little clip we're going to watch is talking about how the Democrats hate America. I don't know. It was sent to me. We're going to find out. We're going to all find out together. So let's click it, play. I got a lot of Democratic friends. I haven't seen they.
Oh, I'm rooting for Senegal.
Senegal, okay.
Senegal, really? They're like 500 to 1. She clearly isn't tipping them to win the World Cup. She just wants them to. That's the Democrats for you. Can't even be pro-America during the World Cup. Their hatred of their own country is clear among their candidates and their voters. Take it away, CNN.
Republicans basically are where they were 25 years ago, right? 64%. But look at that Democratic percentage, absolutely plummeting. Just 27% of Democrats say they will, in fact, display the flag on July 4th. What about this idea? Are you proud to be an American? Extremely or very proud to be an American? Again, look at this divide, a growing divide on this question. Back in January of 2001, 90% of Republicans, 85% of Democrats. This was after a very contentious 2000 election, keep in mind, right, with George W. Bush coming into the White House. You come over to this side of the screen in 2026. Look at this. Again, the Democratic percentage absolutely plummets to just 29% of Democrats say they're extremely or very proud to be an American. That Republican percentage, the exact same, 90 and 90.
It's a sickness among the left, the self-loathing, the suicidal self-loathing, and Rosie O'Donnell is a fine example of that. Look at how she describes her fellow Americans.
I think in your opinion on the UFC event that happened at the White House over the weekend.
It was disgraceful and embarrassing, and he should be ashamed of himself for doing it.
Did you hear about the fighter who called Michelle Obama a man?
Yes, and that's exactly what Trump is, and that's exactly what his fans are, racist, homophobic, un-American.
And let's end the week with a comparison. See if you can note the subtle differences between President Joe Biden at the G7 and President Trump.
I'm the boss.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Joining me now is comedian and host of After Hours with Alex Stein.
I'm the boss. I think he meant it to. I think Trump meant that he's the boss. What's that, Jimmy? Trump is Trump. What can I say? Joe Biden's insane. Trump is Trump. It's
Yep.
Well, in those kind of videos, those kind of clips, I mean, it's pretty clear Joe Biden's walking around, wandering around, I don't know, smelling the atmosphere. Trump walks in and says, I'm the boss. It's a clear difference. Yeah, it's a clear difference. Well, when you talk about things like the war and stuff like that, so, people want to blame Trump because he started the war, but technically Trump didn't start the war. You're saying Obama started.
Obama did it. Yeah.
He started the war. When he gave him all that money, the other day somebody said, he only gave 1.7 billion. No, he gave more than that just in the 4 pallets. Once he set in the middle of the night because he left different currencies on small bills. But then he gave back all that material, somewhere 135, 150 billion, and stuff that we were holding at the time that he gave back and cash that he gave back. Well, immediately, what did they do? They funded terrorism and started trying to build a nuclear weapon. And the only reason this even got started is because they told us, the Iranians told the Americans that, hey, look, in 8 weeks we'll have a bomb. And Trump was like, no, we'll not have a bomb. We will wipe you off the face of the planet if we would give you a bomb. And then I keep hearing everybody talking about this peace deal and how bad peace deal was. Well, I'm watching the guy who made a deal for the Americans walk into his office. And they got a video of me dancing, chanting. He said, we got everything. He said, we're getting uranium. We can inspect where we want to be. No long-range ballistic missiles, all sorts of shit. I'm thinking, well, what is CNN crying about? What is NBC crying about? What is Barack Obama crying about? Barack, you should never say anything when it comes to Iran. This is partially your fault. If you wouldn't have gave them all that money, they wouldn't be able to do this. I really hate when we do like this because I really think anytime we get involved, there should be a regime change. Yeah, because Iran can't help themselves. What was that, Chris? Name one good Muslim. What are you talking about? Name one good Muslim. Good Muslim for what? I mean, I don't understand what you mean.
Do you think they'll break that treaty?
Oh, hell yes. It may take them a while, but
Huh?
I think they will. Once they get all built back up and get all their stuff back together, no, I think they will. That's why the U.S. wants to be able to go in and monitor everything that goes on in their country. Brock caved on that. Brock said, oh, it's all right. We'll let third parties do it, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Yeah, probably one of the Ayatollah's 14-year-olds gave a blowjob or something. What do you mean? Brock most certainly did. Was on the Epstein. Listen, Brock most certainly had dinner with Epstein at least 3 occasions in Epstein's house in Florida. Yeah, buddy, you better get your facts straight. But it's worse than that. Barack was friends with Diddy. He was also friends with Weinstein, and Cosby was a mentor. Yeah. So I mean, this is Obama, and for the worst people in our society, he's friends with him. But that bode well for him, man. Let's be honest about it. Oh, you mean that federal prison he built in the middle of Chicago? You think he calls a library? It looks like a prison. Every time I see it, it reminds me of a
That looks uglier than sin, dude.
Yeah, I hope it's nice inside because it's ugly.
That looks so ugly.
Okay, Chris, we weren't really into. Okay, couple of things. One, they haven't paid all their contractors yet, but they haven't finished settling out on this. They're going to let this entrepreneur group manage it. Okay, so this is a couple of problems. One, they haven't paid all their debts. Two, another group is suing, saying the whole project was completely and utterly racist because they only hired black contractors and they only used black people. There's no white people in this at all. Well, in the United States, I hate to tell you, that's actually illegal. So now this place is going to get the Jesus suit out of it. Plus, it was supposed to have an endowment of $50 billion, and it doesn't. It's only got $1 million in its endowment. Well, somebody's got to pay to keep this thing up and run. This 800-acre monstrosity. So what is it? 7 stories?
Yeah.
It's ugly, Glenn. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's traditional or not. It's just ugly. It looks like a Fed pin. It looks like a Fed pin off of some sci-fi movie, actually. That's what it really looks like. Oh no, wait, we're gonna play.
To me, it looks like something was dropped from outer space.
Okay, yeah, it could look like. It's just silly. Let's see. This is one of these baby Trump. Ooh, I don't know if I should play baby Trump. Let's see. Uncle Trump. How much is it the one I'm looking for? Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. And play.
Marco, I just sent a text to the wrong person.
Who'd you send it to?
Kim Jong-un. I was texting Melania. I said, miss you, baby. Come to Mar-a-Lago this weekend. I'll make it worth your while with a heart emoji. Heart Marco. Not even a pink one, the serious one.
Oh, my God.
He already replied. He said, finally, I've been waiting for this letter, Donald. I will bring a gift. He thinks he's invited. He's probably already on a plane in a suit with a gift.
Can you unsend it?
This isn't iMessage, Marco. This went through a classified channel. The Pentagon has a copy. The CIA has a copy. Everybody's reading Miss You Baby right now in a bunker somewhere.
Just tell him it was a mistake.
I can't. He'll be heartbroken. You remember the last time I upset him? He launched 4 missiles into the Sea of Japan over a birthday card I forgot to send. This man is emotional Marco.
So what's the plan?
I guess Kim's coming to Mar-a-Lago this weekend. Tell Melania we're having company and hide the good chocolate. He ate an entire box last time and blamed it on his translator. Marco, I just sent a text to the room.
Damn.
And touch the sound.
Number 1, Peak
Shelter. Holy shit.
He said what? Elon's companies have pumped $300 billion into the economy through wages, procurements, and taxes. Meanwhile, AOC blocked Amazon from bringing 40,000 jobs to NYC. That's one way to prevent more millionaires, keep everyone poor. Still, these clowns treat him like a Nazi hoarding treasure. Yet thanks to them, the government has burned through trillions, and they can't even cure whatever it is I picked up at the Lilith Fair in 1998. Meanwhile, Elon's new IPO just created 4,000 millionaires and 400 millionaires. He's built 800,000 good-paying jobs. SpaceX is helping NASA send us to the moon, then to Mars. He developed brain chips so the paralyzed live their lives again. And no, Joy, they don't come in barbecue flavored. Tesla makes cars and now robots that will handle all the jobs humans can't stand, like having sex with Hassan Piker. He saved free speech on X after your buddies blacklisted us. His boring company digs tunnels to end a drain on all of our lives, which is traffic. The fact is, Elon's got more successful companies than he has kids. And unlike kids, he didn't have to screw anybody to get them. Jesus. Despite being called the fastest, Elon proved all these leeches dead wrong, which isn't hard. If you put them in charge of a lemonade stand, the lemons would go on strike.
Holy shit. He said what?
Elon's companies have pumped $300 billion into the economy through...
Right behind me is the world's biggest gas station. Only America can make a gas station an attraction that everybody wants to come and see.
I'm not sure what we're going to expect in here, but let's go see what we can find.
Guys, I wasn't expecting this. It's like its own universe, and we've already gone in on the food.
Oh, it looks so good.
I couldn't help myself. And the guys behind the counter, like, they do a sing-song. What is this place? I can stay in here forever.
It's like Disneyland for adults.
Yeah, it is. It's Disneyland for hungry adults.
Yeah. They even have beef jerky here.
Burritos, tacos, chicken, fries, chips, everything you want. Look at all the jerky.
Jalapeno, honey, sweet and spicy.
Oh, you can get a ghost pepper one. No, what? Should we try it?
Yeah.
Oh, should we get some cookies?
Idiots.
Right?
Yep.
They even do cookie dough bite puddings.
It's so good.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. This is everything that we got. How
Don't
much
get no fudge.
do you think this is coming to? Well, that was an experience and a half.
Oh my gosh.
It came to like $70 what dollars?
$70. Look at that truck. Oh.
That truck's insane.
Right behind.
I'm just going to say it. Older men are in a completely different league right now, and their secret is blue.
Yeah,
The only 5 actors Hollywood couldn't corrupt with money, and number 1 will genuinely shock you. Number 5, Adam Sandler, a man worth hundreds of millions, and he still shows up to the gym in baggy shorts and a stained hoodie. No designer fits, no entourage, no ego. He used money to buy freedom, not status. That's rare. Number 4, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He conquered Hollywood and the governor's office, yet he still rides his bicycle through the streets of LA day and trains at a public gym where anyone can walk up and talk to him. Power didn't change him. That's character.
Hey,
Number
Heidi.
3,
Good
Jack
to
Black.
see
No
you,
yachts,
Heidi.
no feuds, no desperate attention seeking. Just music with his friends,
an
real
asshole.
laughs, and zero interest in selling out. In an industry that rewards fakeness, he chose himself every single time. Number 2, Danny Trejo. He went from prison to movie legend, and instead of drowning in luxury, he feeds the hungry and invests in his community. His face built a career in Hollywood. His heart built something far greater. Number 1, Denzel Washington. No Instagram, no Twitter, no red carpet thirst. He goes to the same church he's always gone to, puts his family above every award, and lets his work speak for itself. In a world addicted to attention, he chose peace. That's the most powerful flex of all.
I'm just gonna.
The only 5 actors.
If Jesus fed people for free, taught people for free, and healed people for free, why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Churches should? Okay. But why can't we do that on a more systemic level through government programs? Hey, maybe private companies with all of their record profits. Why hasn't Elon put up some of his own private money to help end homelessness?
Because homelessness is not a money problem.
Homelessness, tell that to homeless people. Then.
I have. I say, you know what? Almost every single one of them has either mental problems or drug disorders. It is not a matter of lack of capital. It's that they should either be in an asylum or they're doing hard drugs and they don't want to stop. We have homelessness.
Asylums that Ronald Reagan defunded. There are asylums that Ronald Reagan.
Yes, if we want to talk about bringing back asylums, I'm all for that. I have an entire political party I would put in an asylum.
Okay, then we.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
What the hell?
Everybody thinks that
We're just
she's
gonna
so
have to start
big.
doing a clip show. I can see
Guys.
it coming.
Oh my God, this is it.
Furious couple just went viral, burning a plastic cheese slice against real grass-fed cheese on camera. And what they found is worse than you think.
Slices that's supposed to be cheese does not melt.
That orange slice was banned by the FDA from even being called cheese because it doesn't start as cheese. It starts as production scraps, painted orange with a dye also found in floor wax, liquefied.
Oh, Lord. It's come to attention. Get out the room.
Brigitte, the internet is talking again. We need to be more careful, mon amour. Maybe wear a sunflower dress, a rose in your hair, something.
Emmanuel, I have been your wife for 20 years. I am tired of the stupid disguises. Last week, you made me wear a wig on top of my wig.
And it worked. Nobody suspected a thing. Well, some people suspected. But we neutralized them.
I am not wearing the double wig again. It gave me a neck cramp. Absolument non.
Monsieur Macron, you've received an anonymous gift.
Oh, Brigitte, darling, you shouldn't have.
Actually, monsieur, it's addressed to your madame.
Happy Father's Day?
That's clearly a mistake, darling.
Don't mess with Maga Daddy, Emmanuel. Who sent this?
I have no idea. This has nothing to do with me, I swear.
Find them. I want a name. I want an address. I want them behind bars.
Unquestioned. Where can I buy one for myself?
Happy Father's Day. All right, listen up, MAGA dads. I know what you're thinking. How can my wife and kids find this mug and buy it for me? Don't worry, I got that under control. So thermostat guarding, 99%, very accurate. Every dad felt that. Grilling skills, 500%. I don't grill personally, but I respect the craft, and I'm sure it's in my veins. So link is in the description. Limited edition, by the way. I sent one to France, and it caused an international incident. That's how you know it's good.
Tesla and SpaceX are scaling solar, and I encourage others to do so as well. I mean, obviously, I've said this stuff, publicly. I do see a path to 100 gigawatts a year of space solar, sort of AI-powered, solar-powered AI satellites.
Yes.
So 100 gigawatts a year of solar-powered AI satellites.
I did the math on that. That's like 500,000 Starlink V3s launched over 8,000 Starship flights. That's one every hour.
For a year. 10,000 flights a year is a reasonable number. I mean, by aircraft standards, that's a small number.
Sure. In terms of flights, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you're just depends what you compare it to. If you compare it to the rest of the rocket industry, it's a very high number.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 1 million tons of payload to orbit per year. So if you do 1 million tons of payload to orbit per year with 100 kilowatts per ton, that's 100 gigawatts of solar-powered AI satellites per year. At the point at which you can put 1 million tons of satellites into orbit, you can also start bringing down satellites too, or at least collecting them into a fixed location, so they're not all over the place.
Yeah, then you can reuse them.
Yeah, let's just say that we'll have the resource level will be so high that I believe this will be a solved problem, given the amount of intelligence we're talking about here.
You're making money, I bet you
The
is.
intelligence will be quite interested in preserving itself. Tesla's.
It turns out one of the fastest.
As a British couple, these are 4 things that we do not like about the US.
First of all, everybody in the supermarket is really friendly, smiles, waves, wants to have a conversation. Unlike in the UK where they walk around with their head down. God, what a shame that is.
God forbid. Reason number 2, the country is just way too big. There are 50 states.
Endless numbers of national parks to visit. Endless places to go on adventures. God, what a shame that is as well.
So tiring to do all that.
God. Reason number 3, there are endless amounts of cuisines that you can get.
And also, the portion sizes are huge. So, you have to take it back home for the nenext day.
Oh, God.
Reason number 4 is pride. How much pride Americans have.
Too many American flags everywhere.
Here it is. These are the guys.
This terrifying footage shows instant noodles surviving 18 minutes of extreme heat without breaking down.
Oh, wow.
Proving this meal might be closer to plastic than real food. Step 1. Wheat flour gets flash fried in rapeseed oil at 300 degrees, absorbing pure fat in 90 seconds.
Here it comes.
Step 2. They're sprayed with TBHQ, a petroleum-derived preservative banned in multiple countries. Step 3. The flavor packet is lubed with disodium monosinate, a synthetic amplifier.
My A1C dropped from.
Damn.
I almost sold Tesla to Google, 2013, handshake deal, $11 billion. I was ready to sign. Then I read the contract. One clause, Google could shut Tesla down if it was not profitable. I walked out. Every investor called me insane. That same year, Tesla made its first profit. Never needed Google. Never needed anyone. The moment you almost give up your dream or someone else's security is the moment you find out who you really are. I almost sold Tesla to.
If you want to
break it out of there. All right. It's too much work on damn clips, man. Welcome back, everyone who's been watching all these clips. We've been watching all kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to cut them to like 3 at a time so I can keep. Maybe we'll convert the chat into a clip show.
Oh man, that ain't right. No.
There's a lot of good stuff in here, man.
Yeah, there is, but it's not the chat. It's not the chat, man. Where we can cuss at each other.
You know, Elon. Elon's scary. He's going to be so rich. So, like we were talking about last night.
Joe, let me ask you this question. What would you do if you had all his money right now?
I'd probably be on the path he is because I'm in my heart. I'm an explorer, so I'd probably be. I mean, he's not only trying to live his dream, but while he's living his dream, he's trying to help everyone along the way. Now, some of this is just side benefits because of what he needs to achieve his goals. Is such new technology to benefit from something like that. But he doesn't have to share that with us. He does. A lot of what was developed for Tesla's driving purposes is going to be for spaceships in the future. How they're testing how things work. Give Elon another decade, he'll be worth $5 or $10 trillion. And if he gets to those asteroids before anybody else does, it's over. He is God incarnate on Earth. I mean, he'll be worth the whole combined wealth of the planet so many times over. Won't even be funny.
If he lands on an asteroid or whatever, could he file a patent on it? Can he file a patent?
Wait, on what? Wait, I missed.
If he landed on not a planet, but say like an asteroid or something close to it, can he file a patent on it?
No, but he could probably file some type of land ownership. That's stuff that's going to be discussed in the future because that's stuff. Right now, according to the UN, you cannot own anything in space. It's illegal. You can't own the moon because everybody always see America. When America landed on the moon and flew the flag, everybody considered the moon to belong to America because we went there, we conquered it with the flag. But the UN said you can't do that because first off, the moon's a big place and lots of people that live there. But when we get to other worlds, you can't just go over there and say, "Oh, I landed here first; it's my world." No, we're not going to do that. But asteroids, anything like mining, there'll be like mining rights. So they'll be able to go in and say, just like you do a claim for gold right now, that maybe even on someone else's property. So you can do that kind of stuff. It'll probably be a lot like that in space, except he's just going to go out there. He's going to find it. He's going to instantly take it over. And then from that point, he'll be setting up other places out there. He'll have a clear advantage on most people getting into this. So will his family. For me,
I like what Heidi wrote. Joe would gather his harem of women with their "I love JoJo" buttons and go out on the town he just bought.
Well, I would keep one on Earth, one on Mars. You can't just have one harem. You gotta have, you don't want to be flying all the moon around, which I'll tell you cause all kind of problems. Yeah, I know Daryl and the other brother Daryl. Oh, you mean so you're talking about 4 months? No. It'd be like 14 or 28. How many or 30 is a spare? Yeah, that way it recycles every month.
She said, "I forgot, damn it." Hey, Heidi, this is for you, hon. Animal card, the deer. I pulled this for Heidi and who else listens to the show. I pulled a deer. I pull Heidi a card every Friday and Saturday.
What did you do? Chop the deer's head off? All it was like it was missing its head. Hey, did you put a jinx on that deer or something?
Yes, I did. Yes.
What do you mean?
You're welcome, Heidi. You're welcome.
What do you mean tell you a ghost story? A real ghost story? Or just a ghost story?
What's a real ghost story and a ghost story?
A ghost story is just a story you make up to scare the shit out of people. A real ghost story is something that actually happened.
Well, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you what happened. We did an investigation over in East McKeesport, and it was on the row house. And so we're down at the cellar, and I had a Chinese girl who weighed 80 pounds soaking wet. And
I heard what you said, right? Okay.
She's just standing there. She's just standing there. and she got picked up and thrown into my brother. And that's a fact. We all saw it. Then, at the same house, so my brother went down to the cellar to collect the equipment. And as he's walking up the steps, at the very top of the steps, there was a screw about this big, Joe, standing straight up. And if he didn't see it, right, dude, that thing would have gone into his foot.
They heard.
But Joe said, but everybody, Joe says ghost doesn't exist.
Speaking of things through your foot, though, I've experienced that. When I was like 15, I jumped off of a roof. We were playing on this construction site. And I went to go jump in the sand, and when I did, there was a 2x4 down there. Damn.
Oh.
Went straight through the top of my foot by about that far, too.
Oh, wow.
I looked down. I'm like, you got, well, the head went through my shoe and everything. I was like, how the fuck am I going to get this off of me? So I got my shoe off the top of it off, and I got it out, and then I had to kind of move my foot and pull. And then I grabbed it from him. I said, just yank it. He's like, I said, just yank it. And he just yanked it out. I was like, okay. It hurt, but it ain't like having a baby or nothing. Mufos. Who's a mufos?
Mufos? Who are you talking about, Heidi?
Who's a mufo? Girl, I will smack you around, man.
Interdimensional mufo? Yeah. Yeah, Joe calls them interdimensional, not ghosts, is what he calls them.
So, because this is the hard part about it. Okay, good. We're going to get into some deep shit here. So, y'all put y'all deep hats. So, we talk about ghosts, we talk about things, we talk about dimensional, we talk about dimensional bleeds, we talk about all kind of interesting things. So, what actually do we have? So, if there's a multiverse, then there's no need for reincarnation. If there's reincarnation, there's no need for the multiverse. And this makes a difference because reincarnation's universe would allow for ghosts. The multiverse really doesn't need them because of the way it exists in time and space.
Okay.
So, and what that means is, and this is always what's been interesting to me about seeing dead people. I have never met it, and I've heard at least 100 of these personally. Probably read more than that. I have never heard one when somebody came up, okay, I saw my daddy, and it went through the whole 9 yards of my daddy. It's always something that is off. Oh, he had some weird yellow shirt on. Was wearing these green pants I've never seen before. Or his eyebrows look different or something. But there's always something, which doesn't, it suggests that it's the same person, but yet not the same person. And the only way that can be is that if it's someone from a different dimension, which means it's not a ghost, it means the person's still alive. You're just seeing across the veil. So when you're laying in that bed and you're distraught because you just lost your father and you're losing your fucking mind, I mean, you're tears, you're crying, you're angry, and all that comes to a head and you have any kind of real psychic ability, you can break the veil. So then all of a sudden you're laying in this bed, basically in the person who lives in this bed, and you're now looking at your alive father in the next dimension over. And you're talking to them and they're talking to you. And you're expressing your feelings and they're expressing them back because they're like, what the fuck were you? No, baby, I'm right here. I'm not doing what's going on. And then a lot of times, that's the other thing they say, is that the parent doesn't seem to know they're dead.
A lot of them.
That's what I'm
especially
saying.
Especially the ones up in Gettysburg. But Heidi wants to know, Joe, who are the people that she sees in her house?
How you know they're people? What do they look like? Are they cute? Hey, Miss.
Hey, Miss.
Oh, I got a good friend of mine good the other day.
And then she said, I would never call you guys mofos. I love yous.
Oh, I've been called worse than that, baby. But that wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Me too.
Somebody called me coon ass the other day. He said, you're just a fucking coon ass. I said, down here technically that's a compliment. I said, but no, I'm not actually coon ass. I said, I'm a couillon. I said, I'm not Cajun enough to be a coon ass.
Coon ass. Oh, Joe, that's so queer.
It is queer. It definitely is queer. Oh, it's funny you said that because tonight I was talking with this guest on Office Quill. I used the queer like 2 times. He kind of looked at me and said, "Don't worry about it. We're reclaiming the word." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, queer shouldn't mean gay. You're gay. Queer should mean what it means. Weird, odd, strange. I said, there's nothing weird, odd, or strange about being gay. You're just gay. I mean, he started laughing. I'm like, well, I guess you're right. I'm like, yeah, well, fuck that. And I said, we're going to work on taking that gay word back too. I said, we don't need to molest words for our own thing. Oh, that's true. I am. Every once it's a rare thing, but every once.
Oh, Mish says, "Wow, Joe is in a t-shirt."
Yeah. Like I said, every once in a blue. Scariest thing that ever happened to me. I would tell you, and it would scare the shit out of me, but it's classified, so they can beat the shit out of me and kill you.
Oh my God.
Um,
Yeah, I looked at my brother one night. He popped out of the around the wall, and I looked. He scared me, and that was the scariest thing I ever saw on an investigation. My brother popping out.
I've seen some hairy, scary shit, but I don't know. Some stuff is so surreal.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Joe, and the people out there. Now, I've been doing investigating for over 30 years. I have been. And it just gets to the point that I do not get scared anymore. Has that happened to you?
Well, first off, my crazy Linda never gets scared. Ever.
No.
I used to tell all the time, I said, you ain't got no sense in your head. But she would go places. I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to get us killed. But I couldn't go by herself, so I had to go. But still, and she knew that, but it doesn't matter.
Real person, Mish.
But it's hard for me because I have to distinguish between things. I can talk about the paranormal things that's happened in my life, or the ufology stuff, or when I was in the services, or other things I did. And it's all different. And some of it is extremely hazardous, scary. Well, here's one for you, G. So I volunteered to work Hurricane Andrew to help him out. I was in Florida, actually in Dade County, Atlanta. And so I volunteered to work the storm. So it's wee hours, man, and it's windy, it's blowing. Water is flat to here. Some, right at 6'5". So the water's right up to my chest. And it's just steady rise. Couldn't really get too far in anything because it was too hard to navigate the boats in the dark or anything along those lines. And all of a sudden, the wind was blowing so hard it was actually lifting up this 36-foot boat, just kind of picking it up and setting it on the other side of the waves. And it was just lifting it as it was doing it, the waves were getting bigger and bigger until finally it just dropped into the roof of a house where all of a sudden it just right to the top of the cluster house. From that point, it was in the water.
So let me ask you this, Joe, real quick, okay? Whenever you go into the swamp and you see those desolated houses, are they really that creepy like I see on YouTube and on TV?
Yeah, they are. They've been back there for hundreds of years. You can't even burn them. They don't even want to burn. They get mold gets into the wood, and that's it. Actually, some of them you can walk inside. They look like the day that the door was closed.
Do you think they're haunted?
I'm sure some of them are. Some of them are old plantations. Some of them are slave quarters.
That would be so season. That would be so easy. That would be so nice to see.
There's no roads that go back to them. You either got to get on a pirogue or a boat or something. And there's no easy, fast ways out. And it's treacherous. I mean, there's panthers back there, there's bears, there's alligators, there's snakes, there's spiders. And then there's people that don't want you back in the bayou. In a deep swamp. We see, Jesse, there's swamp, and there's kind of swamp, and there's wild swamp, and then there's the deep swamp. When you're 15, 18, 20 miles inside of a swamp. And there's nothing within 20 miles in either direction but swamp. Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Now they claim that they see lights floating around and through the swamp.
Yeah, they got all kind of witches that happens. gas. But mostly, when you hear stuff like that, it's usually just pockets of natural gas igniting. And they make little balls and float through. Sometimes they're big balls, but they're just clouds of gas. Sometimes they're pink and yellow and orange. Sometimes they're glowing because they're burned from the inside. They're cool looking, but they're not alien, and they're not demons either. Now they've got graveyards you can go to down here that they're not even abandoned, but their cities and everything around them's been completely removed. But the graveyards still, people still take care of them. They're usually got chain link fence around them. They're haunted as all fucking shit. We were in this once. So was it St. Louis was established in like 1700s. This graveyard was half the graves were like children, probably under the age of 2, maybe even younger than that. But what was weird was, first time we went, it was foggy out, but it was only foggy from the waist down, and the fog was doing this. It was curling in on top of the graves. It would come up and then curl down and then go down like this. It was making these weird curls and then dropping down, and it did that over every grave in the graveyard. They got it on video. It was creepy, weird, whatever the hell it was. And then we come back a couple weeks later, and they got these strings with water bottles on hanging over every grave. And then we come back a week after that, and they had next to the water bottles, they had another string hanging what looked like little ghosts. You know how we had to make the little ghosts? They take like a napkin and tie rope. They look like that. I don't know what the fuck these were. The place was, something back there scared the shit out of somebody. I mean, and there's no doubt if you're even a little bit sensitive, before you even get on the road, as soon as you turn on the road, you can feel it. By the time you get halfway down your road, it's already creeping out. You haven't seen the graveyard yet. And there are far more creepy ones than that out there than that. The one over by the river is big. It's old. It's 300 years old. It's just out there. But they come by and cut the grass on it all the time. You can go out and look at the graves. You can even see who the people are. A lot of these people you can look up. Some of them still have family that exist in the area. And then there's these weird ones that got like 8 people in them with a fence around. Probably belong to a church or not her, try a private house or something. That's been long, long ago. You just find them randomly in the woods. It shows you how many lives have just, or homes, have just been wiped away without any remnants to let you know they existed. They just melted into the forest and went away. Oh, the thing in what I was talking about when we were down in Dade County for 4 people died that. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them things. None of the people that we were sent to get there. No, it was rescue workers doing things that they shouldn't have been. In the water for it was like 37 hours. Well, it's actually longer than that, but that was swimming or floating. They got to a point where you could finally walk around. Well, a lot of times what you do is you float in behind a building and you get rest. You can just kind of float there, let the water push against the building and give you a break from being caught in the flood. Actually, the Navy trains you for stuff like that. Not so much because you got caught in a hurricane city, but because you're in a sinking ship and it's sucking you around, jetting you around. They teach you how to. Yeah. Not everybody. They teach you firefighting in the Navy too. They teach you all kind of wonderful stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody who served on a ship can be a firefighter when they get out of the Navy.
Yes, they can. Yes,
yeah. You have to be a trained firefighter to serve on a Navy ship, and they teach you CPR and a few other things besides that.
But you know what, Joe? Having a fire on board a ship is so damn scary. It really is.
It can be. Well, especially depending on where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, because fire moves differently inside those ships, and secondly, steel gets hot really fast. Yeah, so 4 compartments down could be burning, and your shoes will be sticking to the deck where you're at. That's how fast the steel gets. It's like you're running to an oven trying to save somebody. That's why Navy puts people with sprayers ahead, and they put the sprayers ahead of the guy with the hoses, so it's making mist. So it cools down the stuff around you and keeps you cool while you're working the hose. And they only leave you in the hose so often, so that it's set up to where you touch the guy and you reach around and nobody lets go of anything until the other person's secure because the hose is pushing some serious force.
Yeah, they
the
are.
shit out of it if you let go on it. So, but every Navy guy is trained for that. If you're going to serve, that's they train you for. It's just, and you know what? It's not even to them. It's not even anything special. It's just part of boot camp.
I got a story about that. So I'm in the reserves, right? So it was our time to go down to Norfolk for firefighting training when I was in the reserves. And I just got out. So we're down there doing the firefight, and I was the number 2 nozzle man. I had the applicator, right? And so what that is, so when the guy opens up the door, I stick the applicator in the push or put out the fire that's right in front of the door. Well, this asshole, this is a true story. This asshole never went into the Navy. He just did boot camp officer shit, whatever. He came in, that bastard Joe, he opened up the door and I got torched on the left side of my face. I took that applicator, dude. I took the applicator and smacked him over the head. And thank God the hall tech was down there, the firefighting guy. And because that lieutenant got into my face for me doing that. And the guy turned around, looked at that officer and said, "You're lucky he didn't fucking kill you." You know what I mean? He just came in and opened it up.
Because he's an idiot. And,
oh, man.
What Jesse, they actually, it's not just, they don't just stick you out there, they actually sit you down and talk to you. There's class and courses. Navy teaches you a lot. I got to give credit. They teach you. They want you to be well-rounded. And the thing about the Navy is everybody learns your MOS, but generally you learn 2. Even if you don't want to, you usually learn 2. Because the Navy likes to make sure you can do the job. Because you never know what happens. You lose somebody on a ship. Yeah. Who do you think had the easiest job on the ship? Who? The cooks? Nah, cooks had it hard. One day they'd been in Hyatt's kitchen all day, but they had a lot of work to do.
We did.
The crew is not easy. Yeah,
we worked when we were out at sea. We worked 12 on, 12 off. Started at 6 in the morning and got done at 6 at night. And then the night crew people came in from 6 at night till 6 in the morning. It was always 12 on, 12 off, all the time, and it was hard. It was hard.
The person with the easiest job in the entire ship is the captain's yeoman.
Yes.
That's who it is.
Yes.
The captain's yeoman.
Yes.
They don't do nothing but write shit for the captain and walk around. No, really, that's their job. That's because the captain took a liking to this individual for whatever reason. And they got the yeoman's job.
Yeah.
But you can learn a lot shadowing your captain.
I mean, I knew the yeoman for the captain on my ship, and he was just stuck up. He was the biggest stuck up person.
I guess he was, man. I knew one on ours. He was a fucking dick. He told me something one day. He was so funny. I still remember his number one. Our commanding officer was on deck, and he was telling me some bullshit. I said, "First off, you motherfucker, I'll rank you." I said, secondly, I said, "Captain, I like you, but I just saved his freaking multi-billion-dollar fucking aircraft carrier from getting blown up." You just not butchered, boy. I still remember the commander walking. He said, "Joe's right." He said, "The captain really likes you, but Joe's way more important than you are." I still remember the guy in charge of electronics on the ship. Well, all the electrical and electronics. He was so pissed because they didn't demote him. They just promoted me over. And he was so pissed. And then when he found out I got to go keep my office in the reactor room, he's like, "No, they don't do that for anybody." I said, "Yeah." He said it's the best place for me, so I can glow and shit when I come up to the command deck.
And then how many people came up to you and said, "Boy, you have a nice set of golden knee pads, Joe"?
Yeah, well, they couldn't really, because I used to work. I was a shooter, so everybody knew I wasn't that kind of person. So when you work the flight deck, there ain't nobody on the flight deck like that. You can't make the flight deck and be like that. It's
no.
And because Jimmy was like, "I still need triggers. How'd you get promoted?" I was like, "Dude, I don't know." He's like, "Well," I said, "because I liked being a shooter. I enjoyed that job." Yeah, I was an enlistment, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I was an E4 going E5, so I was happy. And but then when I got promoted to Lieutenant JG and then to Lieutenant like right away, I was like, the pay difference is insane.
Yep.
Well, no, see, Jimmy, so I got paid good because first off, it's a 4x10, which is actually technically I joined as a reservist because I wanted the extra money. So they pay reservists more than they pay regular. That's the old bit. Then I got C pay and hazardous pay, but then I got double hazardous pay because I'm a shooter. So back in the day, we're talking 40 years plus, I was making $2,600 to $2,800 a month as an E2. When I got to be a petty officer, I was making $5,000 a month because I worked in the flight line. Yeah, even I was like, wow, this is pretty good for a little shithead. Yeah, but $5,000 back then is probably like $15,000 today. No, but when I made lieutenant, see, it was weird though. I made more as lieutenant, but it was weird because I lost some pay because I wasn't on the flight line. No, but the reactor one kind of picked up most of that loss.
Yeah, but you know what? You should tell the people why you got that extra money being on the flight deck, though, dude. It was scary.
It's dangerous. Oh man, look, I cannot tell you. At least a half a dozen times or more, I've seen a plane run into the counter town. At least a dozen times I've seen a bitch hit the ground, smack, and blow up on the fucking deck. I can't tell you how many times you're just standing there like doing your job, all of a sudden you something one and it goes down the deck. You're like, really? You're just standing there, there it goes. Sometimes you get lucky, they fly off the end of the ship. Sometimes they hit a plane. Sometimes they don't blow up when they hit the plane. They just hit the plane and put a big hole in the plane. Sometimes hit the conning tower, blow the fuck up the conning tower, don't even scratch the paint. So you're kind of like,
no.
But if you're anywhere around any of that when it happens, you're dead. And I've watched guys I watched a guy lose his foot because he got caught up in the cable that runs the catapult. And it was an accident because they jump up and down when they're resetting, and he was just coming by, so he was getting ready to step over. When he did, it fluctuated and caught his foot. And when they pulled it back, rewinded to pull it in, it just got his foot.
Well, you know what I saw, and I said it before a long time ago, on the Independence, some guy, he was spaced out, some air deckhand and worked on the flight deck, was just not thinking, and they started the engine. Boy got sucked right up into the engine, dude.
Well, it'll happen. You got to be aware of it all the time. You have to be aware of the deck. Everything. I mean, so one of the first things they teach if you work like that is how to dive a duck, because before you can launch any jets, you have to get inside the duck and look around, make sure there's no debris in there, so when you start the turbine, it doesn't shatter. You also got to, and I tell you, I watch rookies. I almost did this myself once or twice, but I watch rookies a couple times. They'll come walking around the back of the jet, forgetting that it's like, and there's a thrust coming out that jet. Man, all of a sudden you see them just down the decks 30, 40, 50 feet sometimes. I've actually seen someone get blown off the ship because they got hit by the thrust. One guy had a big scar from here down all the way down to the side of his ass because he got kind of barbecued. It gets insane.
What were they called? The two metal flaps. You know how they had the two up front and the two in the back? The ones up front, they lifted up these metal shields, heat shields. Did you ever get behind one of those? Because I knew a guy who did that, and his blood was actually boiling. That's how hot it got.
No, it was weird. So they used to let us take pictures off the back of the ship. And one night, some idiots out there taking pictures with a flash. Well, you can't be flashing flashes in the air, because then the pilot might think it's a little ball thing that we flash to line up with the back of the carrier, and some bitch line up low and kill herself. So they said, okay, y'all got to go up front. Well, there's a couple things you had to be careful of up front. You had these heat shield things, but you also had these weird flip radar things. So you had to be aware if they're on or if they're off, because if they were on and you were standing there, well, hope you had a good will. And if they're off, it was fine. And there was a radius, there's a big yellow line around all this shit. As long as you're outside that line, it's fine. Even in operation, it won't get you. But if you cross that line, it will. Well, people go down there and forget. One guy fell into one and got this whole side all messed up because he kind of the ship moved or shifted. He leaned it, pushed him into the thing. It's I don't know what they called them though. It's so long ago. Oh no, did we have radar that was serious, Christopher? Oh God. We had radar. If you got in front of the dish, you were barbecued instantly. And it wasn't going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was going to be a sheer barbecue. Yeah. Shriveled up in a piece of shit. I seen a guy lose his arm because of a radar panel in a control tower in was it Covington, Tennessee, Millington, Tennessee is what the Navy base there. Right smack in the middle of the woods. Big, huge Navy base too, right smack in the middle of the woods. Not a drop of water to be seen for 500 miles in any direction, but there be a damn Navy base.
Is that an airport, Navy base, Navy?
Air Navy, whatever they called it. They had a name for it.
NAS, Naval Air Stations.
Because they didn't need it. They were just planes there. They didn't have to have those. People forget the Navy does everything. Navy has its own ground troops. It's got its own Air Force. That's why we have aircraft carriers. We have our own Air Force, the Navy does. And we have the Marines, which is our ground forces.
Yep.
We're a self-contained military. We're like a military inside the rest of the military, like go, fuck this, yeah, fuck this, yeah, make my day. Navy pilots are the craziest fuckers on the planet. I have talked to a lot of people. The only people, I'm going to be honest with you, in all of my years of doing interviews and doing crazy shit and stupid shit, the craziest people I ever met besides Navy pilots, and some of these Navy pilots at Independence job, was astronauts. And about half the ones I met were Navy pilots, astronauts. Because you landed on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the night on something steaming at 40 or 50 knots while you're coming in at 150 miles an hour. Oh, yeah. And wait, remember, it's not coming towards you. It's running away from you, so you got to play catch-up the whole time. But Jimmy, no. They don't make it come towards you because you run out of deck too fast. So if it was going like this and you were going like this, you would be making a speed way fast. So if it's going this way and you're behind it, it gives you time to adjust your speed accordingly.
Mitch says, have you met Joe? Joe, question mark.
Which Joe? I know a lot of Joes.
I don't know what she's talking about there, Joe.
Anyway, getting back to dimensional lethality, we're going to switch to another one. So Denise, it's an easy concept. It just means that there's another dimension. And the reason why I give reincarnation such a hard time is this. If the multiverse exists, which means there's one of you in 100 trillion universes, which means myself in this lifetime can experience everything in the universe in one lifetime. Because I'm existing in all these different places at the same time. Each one is different. Some might have blue eyes, might still be the same person, but just different color hair, may have more hair, may have less. There's lots of subtle differences, but then there's big ones too as it goes around. Because you're supposed to be able to live all walks of life. So what happens when all of us die, when everybody from that single Joe that lived in all those multiverses died, what happens? They snap back into one being. So why would there be reincarnation? You now know everything in the universe. So what happens to you then? Do you become a god?
No. But Mish says he said they were crazy people he ever met. I asked if he had met Joe himself, who was pretty crazy.
And actually, there are Joes in those jobs, crazier than I am. Maybe not that, but still.
Go, you just. Oh, you know what? We're due for a break, brother.
Yeah, in a few minutes. They you mean NASA is going to do that? Yeah. Jeff Bezos ain't doing nothing right now because Jeff Bezos' brains on his girlfriend, wife, whatever the hell she is. The idiot, keeps spending all his money. He ain't gonna be able to. No, his last rocket blew up. Yeah, blew the fuck up. Elon calls it something else, made blow up. Rapid disassembly or some shit. That's awesome. Yeah, he doesn't. Oh yeah, it's just rapid disassembly. It was a planned rapid disassembly. That's not what he says. And some of them are actually, but still. But dimensional thing is tough because the only reason you're reincarnated is so that you can learn. But if you're learning through other lives, then what do you need reincarnation for? If that's true, what is it that people think is reincarnation to them? And this would make savants easier because if there is a multiverse, and let's say that multiverse Joe number 888 died and I absorbed him at that moment, and he was a grand pianist or something, I could become a savant. All of a sudden be able to play a master piano. Something to think about. Well, and then there's this other thing about a lot of religions believe when you die, there is no reincarnation except that you think it is. That you die at the moment of death, your body's, your consciousness is transported into a new body, into a new baby. Now, let me tell you why they think that, and this kind of does make sense. So, there are how many people on the planet right now? 8,200,000,000. So in order to keep up with the demands for souls, because if all 8 billion are new souls, that's a lot of demands for souls. But if some of them are not, and some of them are old souls, then it would make sense that at the moment of death, they would just go into a new body. Whatever baby was available at the time, closest one to them or something. I don't know, Jimmy. And then again, it could just be nothing. Just psst. No one's proved that anything exists after life.
It's what you believe in, Jimmy. That's what it is. Whatever you want to believe, believe it.
And believe can be a bad word, so.
Well, I know, but I have different opinions than you do, Joe. But I respect your opinions. And
well, right now I'm not actually stating opinions, so don't confuse the audience. Right now I'm just talking theories.
Well, I respect your theory. I respect that.
It's Gene, you can't have them both. You can only have one or the other. You can have the multiverse, or you can have reincarnation. Which one do you want?
I'd rather do neither. I'm not. I would personally, I would get reincarnated. I would.
Yeah, but it's not going to be up to us. It's going to already have been made up. That's how this works.
True, Joe. But in my studies, and I've done shows on reincarnation, you can actually, before you die, say, "I want to be reincarnated," and they will reincarnate you.
Yes. If the multiverse isn't true, if the multiverse is true, it just means somebody bullshitted you and you're getting stuck in a body somewhere. Well, because you can't have both. They would cancel each other out if they both existed at the same time. Because in the multiverse, when a soul dies in a multiverse, the next closest soul to it absorbs it. So that means Sean was to die in this universe, and the Sean in the next universe was still alive. They would absorb Sean, and not just his power, but his essence of who he was and what he knew. And there's lots of examples of people being way smarter than what their school age is, or what they learned in school or learned on their job. Yeah, there's wisdom sometimes that comes to people without any proper way of getting it. It's fairly common. Well, that suggests that you absorbed information from somewhere. To me, it doesn't matter to me either way. I'm not coming back here. I'm going to live on Alpha.
Yeah, you're going to go live on Mars, dude. Come on.
No, I ain't living on Mars. Fuck that. Mars ain't got no air conditioning. No heat.
They get cold at night, and you have all those, instead of snow bunnies, you're going to have Mars bunnies.
That could be
You'll have alien bunnies. is what you'll have.
That low gravity could be interesting. Gee, no. Well, because dimensional bleed through, the death thing actually lends credibility to it. That's what helps it. Because when people describe what they see, it's not the individual that they consider to be their mom or their dad. And even after a while, they realize that there's something just not quite right about whatever this is. Because it is their mom and dad. It's just their mom and dad from a different dimension. And they're going to be a little bit different. They might like different colors. They might like different foods. They might have different attitudes. They may even have different politics, depending on how far away you get away from the scheme. Because the closer you are to your timeline or your dimension, the closer it's going to be to you. But the further you get out, the more different each dimension is going to become. Things that you haven't even thought of will happen in your life. Remember, you're supposed to be able to experience all the universe has to do by living through the multiverse. So reincarnation could do that, but reincarnation would take hundreds of trillions of years to do, whereas the multiverse would. It would be a lot shorter.
Oh, you know what? The only way we're going to find out is when we die.
Maybe. There might be another way to find it. There may be somebody that actually already knows the answer. The little Greys, I guarantee, already know the answer to this question. According to the Vatican, the Greys and the reptilians are closer to God. A lot closer.
Really?
Yeah. So the first person who said that was Monsignor Baltucci. I met him in D.C. in 2008. That's when he told me that. I was shocked to hear that. First, I was shocked to hear how much the Vatican knew about it. And I was shocked to think that they existed on a higher spiritual level than we did and were closer to God. And he will think about it. He said, well, one, they're way more advanced. He said, so, they know more. He said, they've been around way longer than we have. So, of course, they should be closer to God. And he said that the Greys really haven't exhibited any hatred towards mankind other than a curiosity. So, they even have a way to think about it. And then later on, the second, or was it the third? Anyway, he was the Vatican astronomer. And he came out and basically said the same thing. That yes, the Vatican's quite aware, and we do think that they're in a higher space. And a cardinal last year, or year before last, came out and said the same thing. That yes, we are aware of extraterrestrial, and they're on a higher spiritual plane than we are. He said, he said they're closer to God. So, and the Greys don't believe in dimensional verses or reincarnation, and they're closer. So where do they know that we don't? That's the question, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? So there's a species out there that know more about this than we do. Don't look like they're going to share it with us. But they definitely don't believe in religion the way we do, or at least in our religion. No, you know what? Dean, I'm glad you said that. So I got a question for y'all. Well, this is going to be controversial. I think this is a chat. So did Jesus die for the Gentiles? Did he die for the Christ's second wife, which is a bad statement because it's not even a true thing? That's a Mandela thing? Yeah, I know. So did he? That's the question.
That's a big debate there. It's a big debate.
So, well, Gene, I didn't, because and if you read the Old Testament, no, he didn't. They talk about the second coming, and the second coming, he's not here to give the Gentiles any help. He's here for the 12 tribes. Yeah, it's scary stuff, man.
Oh.
If you're not Jew, you're scared.
Let me throw a monkey wrench into this for you, buddy. Okay, all the paintings back then, all those lights that you saw in the sky, were they UFOs?
Wait, where?
You know the paintings of when he rose from the dead?
Oh, well, they say they are.
What's your theory on that?
And there's about 24 pictures, religious pictures of the era that show what looks to be some type of UFO with somebody inside of it. And since they're not demons and they're humans, then you have to think that's okay. They're not angels, they're not archangels, they're not demons. They're just humans inside this place. That's what the picture's drawing. So this suggests somebody with advanced technology that looks like something close to us. That's why I said in the beginning that Jesus could have been an astronaut. So people,
True.
you know, we don't stop to think that he could have came here, you know, from another world, an advanced guy. He went around. So, you know, he performed miracles like curing the sick, feeding the masses, doing all sorts of things, actually. So walking on water was one of them. Well, just recently, a lady invented a way to walk on water. Yes, you put these things in the bottom of your feet and you can actually walk on water. And you can't see anything. It looks like you're walking. It's badass looking. Now we have these handheld devices that you can check people's temperatures, their blood, the sugar, the whole 9 yards, which we didn't have before. Pretty soon we'll have, right now, even your phone can help you get cures or help you to figure out a health issue on the scene without even a doctor. And that's just the beginning of what's going to come out of this. And, you know, in another 100 years, these things will be able to administer vaccines and viruses and stuff. Your phones will be able to, it won't be your phone, but it'll be something else, but that's the way it'll be. So it'll come to a point where, if you've ever seen the movie Late Great Planet Earth, when it came out, 80% of the miracles performed in that movie that had already happened could be reproduced by man. Now I think it's closer to 90%. So there's still 10% that haven't happened. That's why we're all still here. Yeah, it's called The Late Great Planet Earth. It's what's it about? Genesis. That's what it's about. It's well, it's scary. It paints a scary picture like you're screwed, buddy. You're gonna die. Yes, you're gonna die. You stupid humans are gonna die. Actually, I think there's only like 32 million Jews on the whole planet. I don't even know if there's that many, maybe less. I know the other night we were doing a show and we asked, and it was way low. I was surprised. But it doesn't really matter because the 12 tribes would only be 144,000. So I imagine they've already got those people. Everybody else on Earth is just living on borrowed time. So y'all better hope there's dimensional bleed through so we can live in other dimensions when they decide to wipe this one off the face of the universe. That's another question. Does our God exist in another dimension?
I believe so. I believe so.
I would think if it was truly the entity that created everything, well, yes, then it should exist in all aspects of its creation. Where are these? That's Sean's fault.
Always. Always my fault.
What the hell? Sorry, I got something screaming in my ear, people. Then get off my phone. Oh, God damn, that was driving me crazy. I was like, where the hell is that noise coming from? Frank, it's been a wreck. Which actually, I can't say that every ghost dimension leads to. That would be like, you know, a false statement because I've seen shit in the French Quarter that I definitely would consider to be ghosties. Some of it I would consider to be imprints, which I don't know if they consider that a ghost or not. You know, something that's like a reoccurring clip from a film or something. But then there's just hauntings in the city, and there's several hauntings in the city. And there's several hauntings in the graveyards. My biggest question to that is why is there so many dead people still walking around on our fucking planet?
Because they don't want to go. They don't want to go.
It's not their choice. Pull their asses over to the other side.
Yeah, it is. It's their choice if they want to leave or not to.
Only if you're going to heaven. If you're going to hell, it ain't your choice. They'll come get you.
But that's the reason why growing up, Joe, you know as well as I do, we were always taught that if you're committed a sin, you're going to hell. So people, that was driven into people's minds. So when they died, you know, there, they saw the thing open up to the lights to go to heaven, and they were afraid to cross over because what they were taught was they sinned, and they feel that if they crossed into that light, that they are going to hell. That's why they hang around.
Johnny, I hope
You know that as well as I do, man. Seriously.
I'm just saying, I hope there's a point system. Because if not, humans are in deep shit. If one sin sends you to hell, everybody.
Well, you know what, dude? Here's the way I look at it right now. I'm in hell right now. And when I die, I'm going to a better place.
Well, if hell's described the way they do it in the Bible, this ain't hell, it's purgatory.
There's no such thing as purgatory.
Well, then this ain't hell because it's not bad enough to be hell. Not even close to bad enough to be hell.
The reason why we were, I had a Catholic priest in my group at the beginning when I first started ghost hunting. And I sat down with him at his the monastery, wherever the priests, are, where they live. And I looked at him right in the eye and I said, "Is there a purgatory?" And he looked at me right in the face and he said, "No, there isn't, Sean. They taught that in order to scare the shit out of people without them committing sins," is what he said. And this is from a priest.
We were taught purgatory was something different. Purgatory wasn't something bad. Purgatory was a waiting spot between heaven and hell while your soul was being weighed.
Right.
Wasn't nothing bad there. It was whatever you made out of it. It wasn't whatever the environment was caused by you. It wasn't caused by demons. It wasn't caused by God. It was caused by you. But when you were there, well, Gene, they used to think if enough people lit candles for you, then it could get you out of
Yep. Exactly.
But no one actually thought it was something that was bad. They just thought it was a way station. So
Well, the way they
throw
taught,
that in there. Yeah, well, they throw that in there to scare people, but that's not actually what it's supposed to be.
yeah, they did a good job on a lot of people.
And I can understand, and I can understand why you would need a way station, especially today with 8 billion. So many people die every day. You got all these people coming in. You got, it's like the illegals at the border, man. You're like, okay, we got to say, hey, John, Bob, what did you do? You're not coming in here. Whoa, step in that little red box over here. Thank you. Going down. Johnny H. Step in the green box. Going up. Don, you're gonna have to stay in purgatory a little longer. Your brain hasn't decided which way you're going yet. And I think that's something else purgatory was used for, to allow you to decide how far left or right you were going to go, to the good side or to the dark side. No, Jenny, they don't think you know you did when you're in purgatory. Yeah, that's the other problem. You think you're alive. Well, in the beginning, I was with Sean on this. I would think that this would have been hell, but when I look it around and I remember what I'm taught by Catholics, by the Catholics, the Baptists, and Pentecostal, no way, this ain't even close to what hell is. Hell's supposed to make earth look like paradise. The point you want to stay. But I'll tell you this much: if we really believe that there was something enlightening waiting for us on the other side, why do we fight so hard not to leave? Why do
people fight not to leave?
Well, people are scared. I mean, if you truly believe that something good awaits you on the other side, why would you be scared?
True, but a lot of people don't want to believe that. They just believe what they were taught at a young age, and they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
Actually, we're gonna take the break at the bottom again. Yeah, no, we did it that way because once we go over X amount of minutes, you might as well just go to the bottom. Yeah, we get breaks at bottom and tops out. We don't always take the bottom out. Right? One days like today, we can.
I don't know. I just think people want to live as long as they want to live. Now I don't understand Jay
No,
where
it's not what I
he's
mean.
telling.
That's not what I mean. I mean it's that when you know, when you get that sense that you died scared you so bad that it's like an overall crazy instinct to just hold on to life no matter what. There's got to be a reason for that. There's got to be a reason why, as a species, we feel like that. Yeah.
Unfinished business, dude. Unfinished. Just look at it like this. You can look at it like this too. Okay, you and your wife, you did everything together for so long, for 60 years, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden you die, and your wife is like, I can't go on, and and you're staying there with her until she is okay with you being gone. Now, in your right mind, would you leave her at the thing that she's at right now? Would you leave her feeling really bad and very sad and very like not be able to go on? Would you leave her, or would you just like?
I'd be like, I'm out of here, bitch. Adios, amigos. I see
Come
you on
on,
the other
dude.
side, man. I'd be seeing you on the other side.
Come on, dude.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm ready.
Yeah,
It's,
right. I doubt that.
Say, I see you in the dark side. So she's going to other place anyway, so it don't matter. I'm going to the good place. She's going to the bad place.
And she's like right next to you when you said that.
Oh, hell no, she might be getting hurt. She said, oh, yeah, you think I'm going to take you with me now, buddy? We're going together. I can hear that. No, you
That's
can,
funny.
you can. She said, yeah.
That's funny.
Said, I made sure you come. I'm going to tie you up. Do some damn magic soul, some magic on soul or something.
That's funny.
Jay, we're gonna pop up a little clip of Joe Rogan talking about Bob. So we're not gonna run the whole thing because it's 20 minutes, but we'll probably play about 6 or 7 minutes. We might jump across it. Maybe later on the last hour we'll play just consider a teaser. Wait, what's this? Lefties losing at 2005K one day. Is this I can't see it. I wanted to see if it was another JD Vance versus the View. JD just kicked him in the lady's ass like it was.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He made them wet their pants. They were wet their pants.
Every liberal media I saw, from Gallup to MSNBC, CNN, The Times, all of them said the same thing. Oh, they ate him alive. When I went watching.
Yeah, right. Please.
After I watched it, I went and wrote a rebuttal on all of them. Linda was cracking up because she gets some of the stuff on her phone from my phone. And she's like, geez, the head of the country is replying back to you.
That's
I was
funny.
pissing people off left and right. But anyway, then just take a little break. Like I said, it'll be 6 or 7 minutes. We can let this play. I'm not sure who he's talking to. It says Bob Lazar was right. Footage wasn't supposed to be released. Joe Rogan. That's pretty much all it gives us. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. And let me come put it over here with us. Mike, so iCar is going to go through a transformation pretty soon. What this means is the acronym that we use now, and the name we use now, is going to retire because it doesn't completely fit with some of the new projects the organization is going to be getting involved. Well, we're going to always be an abduction research organization, but there's a few things we want to add in. And we want to change some stuff that we've learned over the years, method-wise. We've got a ton of knowledge. That's not the issue. The issue is what do we want to do with the knowledge? And what else do we want to add to this knowledge, and where do we want to get it from? So it's just, it's a good time. A lot of stuff flowing around. A lot of contactees coming out the woodworks. Good time to gather information and data and find out what's up. But anyway, on that note, let's put up some cutesy Joe Rogan. Every time I see him, every time I see him, I think of what's the guy from the fighter guy, the guy that owns the UFC. Come on.
I know who you're talking about. I know you're talking about. I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
Okay,
I'll
here
have
we're
a
gonna go.
straight up black coffee for me, Heidi, please.
I would like the double cappuccino. Actually, I like a double mocha with a shot of oh damn, a shot of what you call it? Damn, I can't think what you call it now. You know the strong stuff, man. The cappuccino. No,
Espresso.
espresso. Thank you. Yeah, 2 shots of espresso. Double mocha, little cream in top, lots of sugar, man. I like lots of sugar, like half a pound or something. Oh yeah. When I make sweet southern tea after you drink a glass of it, you could go jogging for an hour. Oh yeah, be like got energy out the yin yang. But anyway, we're gonna put this on, guys, and we'll see y'all in a little bit. So
When you go over the Bob Lazar story, how much of he's like,
I'm more on the side. I think he's the most credible whistleblower because he
didn't profit from it.
And they prosecuted him for running a prostitution ring. You know,
Which maybe he was.
Which I think he was. He pled down to pandering, but
they also raided him during the Jeremy Corbell documentary. While they're filming the documentary, the FBI raided his facility, and they said they were looking for something. And supposedly he has a version or a sample of stable element 115.
What?
That's supposedly. Yeah, and that's supposedly what they were looking for.
Well, of course.
Supposedly he had gotten that from the lab, and when he was at S4, and that he had managed to smuggle out a stable chunk of this element 115.
okay, let's pause for a second. So I'm gonna give y'all some information that y'all know about. A good friend of mine was working at Los Alamos when all this was going on. Really good friend. So, and another good friend of mine was working at the whip facility. And I had a couple friends besides that. Can't get to know where they were. But regardless, you only need to know about these two. So we were at a conference, and I asked her, I said, can you find out, can you see the people who worked at Area 51, 52, 53, Los Alamos, and all the other projects around? And she said, yes, no problem. It's all in the database, in the work base. And she said, my clearance is plenty high enough. So a couple of days go by, I get a phone call. She said, I found Bob Lazar. I'm like, really? Yeah. She said, yeah, I'll send you a thing over. She sent me a copy of his, not his file, that's illegal. She sent me something else. But regardless, it let me know, who he was, his age, when he got hired, things like that. It's like when you request information on an employee, you're going to hire somebody. That's basically the rundown. She gave him a minute. So his current job here is in the janitorial department. So I hear this, which tells me, okay, he's a janitor, maybe at Los Alamos or Area 51 or something like that. Well, those aren't ordinary janitors. Those are people who probably have some special skills because they're messing with chemicals and things that we don't even know what the hell they are yet. As far as element 115, I don't think he has the clearance to get close enough to get it. Maybe he's a janitor, or maybe he was cleaning the lab one night and he snatched him up. He might have had an opportunity that way. But no other way would he have had an opportunity. Not if you work there, because people who scientists get checked in and out every day before they get on their flights and before they get off their flights, they get checked. So that but if he was janitor and he could smuggle it out, put it somewhere out, if he was driving, it could be different. But regardless, it does seem like he was a janitor. It doesn't mean he didn't see the saucer. It just means he kind of fudged what he was talking about. He definitely had a background in science because I've heard him talk more than one time, so I know he knows he's partially what he's talking about. But he also had a lot of other baggage with him besides that. So you make your own minds of people. He's an interesting character, but does it help prove anything? I guess is the real question.
And there was a video that George Knapp had from back in the 80s where Lazar was demonstrating how this stuff bends light and, what it does, like it has weird effects.
How soon after that raid was 115 is now called Moscovium? How soon after that raid was 115 synthesized? I think it was synthesized in Russia.
Synthesized by a particle collider. And so the when they got it is a very temporary, quickly dissolving form, but they proved its existence. And supposedly what Lazar is saying, wherever these beings are from, they obviously have a completely different environment and they have a stable version of this element.
Yep.
And this element is crucial to this gravity propulsion system. It gets bombarded with radiation, produces this gravity field, allows you to just slingshot through the universe.
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside.
I get high quality podcast recordings right from.
I don't know. Are they working to stabilize it? I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, man.
Why would they raid Bob Lazar?
That's that spectrum of believability again.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about John Lear and John Lear's connection to Bob Lazar and the possibility that Lear was spreading disinformation.
I've become more positive on Lazar just insofar as I think he was at S4 Area 51. And there's going to be a great documentary coming out by my buddy Luigi on this called Project Gravatar. And I think there's going to be a lot of corroborating evidence that he was at least there, and a lot in his story checks. But I think you have to view, and I even say that in this video, that I think a lot of the story could be true. You can't, I think, view the Bob Lazar story. You can't just take it at face value because John Lear and he were friends. John Lear is this babbling UFO nut. He's obsessed with UFOs. He's writing weird, like disinfo-y style stuff with Bill Cooper, Behold the Pale Horse guy.
Which is a wild book.
Yeah. And so he's crazy.
He talks about, doesn't he talk about bases on the moon?
He talks about bases on the moon. Lear also talked about a soul catcher that like controlled our souls on the moon.
Oh boy.
And so Lear was like flooding the zone with all sorts of weird shit. Right. His father is Bill Lear, who's the autopilot wizard. He created the first business, basically the first private jet, the Lear jet, in the 50s and 60s, and was an associate of a guy I hope we talk about named Thomas Townsend Brown.
Yeah.
And so I think, Lear was engaging in all sorts of bullshit. Was he a useful idiot or was he a sophisticated agent provocateur? I'm totally open to him having been a useful idiot. In fact, there is a video of him saying, I was told, I was given all the Bob Lazar files or whatever, and I was told about, to actually, like, he said a guy named Admiral McClellan knew that I ran my mouth. I even have this video actually on the doc that I sent you, Jamie. He says, knew that I ran my mouth. So that's why we got Bob a job or whatever. And we knew that part of this stuff would leak. And it was like this limited hangout strategy on behalf of this guy named Admiral McClellan or whatever. And he was this useful idiot to sort of get it out. And I think
for what purpose?
Recruiting. You give people high level. Yeah.
Here, we hear it here.
And the MJ personnel, the original 12, have all passed away. So they get different people into these positions of MJ 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and taken over. It's degraded, so it's almost political now instead of like it was when Truman originally formed the MJ-12. It turns out that MJ-1, the head of MJ-12, is a guy named Admiral Mike McClellan. He wanted to get some of the information out because he didn't want to. He thought that some of this information should be out in the public. We don't need to keep all this secrecy. So he decided trying to figure out a way to get it to the public. So he knew that I was a blabbermouth and I would tell anything I knew. They investigated Bob Lazar and they knew that he was a genius, but that he had a background such that they could instantly discredit him. They removed all his records from MIT, from Caltech, so he couldn't prove anything. He'd go back to Cal, no, I don't see any records here. And, well, I was here. Well, no, you weren't. So they chose him because not only could he probably help them because he was so smart, and as Mac, he's the one that named.
All right, we're going to be adding something. And it says, if he was that smart. Okay, we're going to be adding something in here. Sorry, guys. We're going to be adding something in. I like Bob, but, I'm not 100% think he's telling all the truth. And I wish he'd take a Bob off a little bit voice stressing. But more so than that, if he was as smart as this guy said he was, well, then he'd be a lot more comfortable. And he wouldn't have so many failed projects, which he's had several, by the way, which we're not going to get into. This isn't really about debunking Bob Lazar. It's about getting the truth so people understand what actually Bob Lazar is, and you can make up your mind. these people want to paint it up your ass, and other people want to debunk it, but it's somewhere something in between. That's what it is. But anyway, we're going to kick this on right. We'll come back to that later on. So let's see. Yes, Jimmy Lee. That's what we do. Isn't that cute? Look how cute that is. I don't know. No, this is for Sean because I know he likes Star Trek so much. Yeah, Jay's made Sean a Star Trek fan.
No, Jay did not. Jay made me go barf on Star Trek.
He said he loves him some Star Trek. Just about 4 minutes, guys. We'll be back. Go get you some coffee, get you some tea, get you a shot of bourbon, maybe a nice whiskey. Somebody needs to send me some good whiskey. I need some good whiskey. I haven't had a good whiskey. Well, I had a couple good bottles of good stuff. I don't have any right
Hey, after this, you only want to run some promos?
No, because we've already been 5 minutes, and this is going to be 5 minutes, and 10 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Jimmy Lee, you
just leave me. Just kick me to the curb, Joe.
No, kick you to the curb. We don't need no promo when we go on this long. Yeah, yes. Anyway, we're gonna play this, and we'll be back in a little while. Sorry, I called my lady. Sound like a little girl. Oh yeah, give me good bill. Yes. Roger, Dodger. 10-4. I hear Mr. Show. Oh yeah, man. Let's get up and do some funky music.
Well, I was stuck in 10 forward with the Vulcan delegation, the most boring celebration in the United Federation. The Klingons and the Romulans were trying to be polite. Not even William Riker's getting lucky here tonight. That's when the idea struck me. I let Ghana know the score, then I found the nearest holodeck and opened up the door. Computer, give me disco. Put some glitter on the screen. I want the funkiest roller program that this ship has ever seen. Synthesize the rhythm, make the polyester shine. Kill the lights and set the stardate to 1979. The sensors overloaded, my terminal exploded. The disco hologram was suddenly uploaded. It reached communication like a bug simulation. That funky, nasty bass line was played at every station. Inertial dampeners failing, the diplomats were wailing. The loudest sound the quadrants ever heard was auto-scaling. The doctor started tapping, the captain started rapping. The buttons of their uniforms were literally snapping. No way to isolate it, we had to celebrate it. I invited everyone on board and no one hesitated. The prime directive is to dance, and forward never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control. Now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile, you gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. Outward all power to the trance. Computer blast that bass again. Let's take this party to war 10. Now Scotty's in the DJ booth. He's remixing the sound. Cues rolling up a fat one. Don't believe me? Ask around. Uhura's cracked the frequency. Now the folks on all the comms. She's dropping subspace baseline beats like they were photon bombs. Data's doing the robot. Kirk just ripped off the shirt. Murphy's doing the hustle. So he ate all the dessert. The doctor's overriding all his ethical subroutines. Saw him popping hollow pills and snorting lines with the breed. Janeway spiked a coffee with some nebula delight. And I heard her threaten to kill whoever don't get down tonight. It's red alert on every deck. Got Tuvok pinching every neck. Ferengi women are turning tricks. The Borg just plugged into the mix. They're scanning us from deep in space. They wanna come to rock this place. Forget the rules and regulations. United fuck a federation. The prime directive is to dance. And forward never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control. Now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile. You gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. I've heard all power to the trance. Computer And let's take this party to Warp 10. Oh, calling the Enterprise. Beam me up. Calling Voyager. Beam me up. Deep Space Nine, are you feeling fine? This is Deep Space Nine. We're feeling fine.
Captain the Funk is reading off the scale. Dopamine levels at 100%. Inhibitions at 0. It is highly illogical. It is fascinating.
The prime directive is to dance and forward, never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control. Now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile. You gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. Divert all power to the trance. Computer blast that bass again. Let's take this party to Warp 10. The prime directive is to dance. Set phases to walk. O'Brien energized. Phases to walk.
Hailing frequencies open, Captain. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not the DJ. Live long and get down.
You guys, after years of marriage,
we don't
this
care
right
about
here
this.
is absolute
Boy, that
magic.
was
Blue
5
to
minutes of my life that I would never get back.
Yeah, shame on you, Sean. That was some good.
Seriously, man, that's like 5
That's some
minutes of
good
my
funk,
life that I
baby.
would not give.
You don't like funky music, man? What's wrong with you, man?
Funky music is okay, but looking at all those Star Trek characters, it's just like, ooh.
Oh, we see. I
ooh.
wasn't looking at the characters. I was listening to music. I was off looking at something else on the screen. Y'all had to look at the funky characters. Was it? I couldn't even tell you what the damn song says. I just like the beat. Uh-oh, what is that playing? Oh, that's Trump. Okay, I was like, what the hell was that blasting away? Oh, that was right. That right there is what that was. All right. Well,
Yeah, thank God it wasn't Metallica, man. We get in trouble.
I know, huh? That's Trump. You don't think we get in trouble for Trump stuff. Jimmy, he's not. Yeah, no, we're not going to take a break right at the top tower. That's what you're asking.
No.
We just got back. Yeah, we just got back. We was just chilling out to some Star Trek, man. Smoking some.
Gross, man. 5
Sean was
minutes
eating
of
some-
nothingness.
Sean was eating some chocolate pie with some what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. You're going to do, what with the chocolate pie? Oh, she's going to put an aphrodisiac in a pie and give it to Sean.
Oh, please, come
And
on.
what kind of aphrodisiac are we talking about? It's like a chocolate pie with an oyster in it. That could be
Don't you dare say oyster, man. I'd be throwing up.
I just did. What are you talking about? They're going to give you some chocolate food with oyster in the middle of it.
Yeah, the M word, Heidi, Metallica. We're not allowed
I
to
love
say the M
Metallica,
word.
but can't play it on here. Now, if we want to stay on Facebook or YouTube, they'll throw us right the hell off every time. Might even get a strike. We can't afford them strikes right now.
No, and then
Sean and I
Michelle
in
would
purgatory.
then Michelle would call me up and yell at me because I
Yes.
didn't stop you from playing it.
Well, she already put us in purgatory, so the next step is hell, man. No, I take her very serious. She's one of my favorite people. She makes my life easier, trust me. It allows me to explore the avenues of the station.
Oh my God, I look like Teddy Roosevelt here with the beard.
Oh my God. Teddy,
Do I look like Teddy Roosevelt? Yeah, with the glasses. Oh no, I know who I look like. That snowman on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
oh my God. You see, I told y'all somebody put something in his pudding. I told y'all, I didn't believe.
Here we go. Heidi wants some brownie points. Michelle is a goddess in my opinion. Ooh.
Are you telling me Michelle Obama is a god? Ooh, you nasty. Ew. I might ban you for where's the ban button? Ain't there a ban
my
button
God.
somewhere? Oh,
Thank you,
my
Heidi.
God. That's it. That's it. She's
Michelle
banned.
is a goddess, and
I
you
know.
know what,
She
Heidi?
said Michelle Obama was a goddess. She's banned. That's it. Oh no, I'm banning her. Where's the ban?
Oh, oh my gosh.
No Michelle
Well, you know
Obama.
what, Heidi? We have to
Michael
pitch in, and we got to buy her a new casket. Yeah, she needs a new one. So we're all taking donations for a new casket for Michelle.
Are y'all saying Michelle looks bad because she's not getting the right rest in her casket? Y'all brave, man. Oh my God, y'all two are brave. First you're worshiping on Miss Obama, and now you're hating on Michelle. Oh my God, Michelle, I love you, baby. I can't help these weirdos. Just turn them into dust.
Heidi says, I would never ever say Obama nothing. You said Michelle Obama, Heidi.
We know where you
She's a
live,
goddess.
girl. We know where you live. That's Michelle Goddess country up there. That's Michelle Obama Goddess country up there. even my dog knows it. Fiona's like, yeah, Daddy, that's right. She's shaking her head up and down.
That's funny.
Who pregnant? Yeah, maybe some grandbabies. I don't know. You mean me? I don't want to fuck kids. Grandbabies, maybe. I got enough kids.
No Obama in my comment. So Michelle,
I'm telepathic, girl.
Joe, you're silly. LOL.
No, because
so
I'm
Michelle,
telepathic. I can tell. I can hear.
Michelle DeRoche, according to Heidi, is a goddess.
Who? Never heard of her. Who is this?
Oh, we stumped Joe, Heidi. We stumped Joe.
Michelle Gasharasha.
He had no comeback.
What? I didn't hear what you said. Who are you talking about? Oh, the boss? You better
Michelle
love the boss.
DeRoche. Oh,
Still don't mean she's not going to turn you into a...
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Heidi thinks that our boss, Joe, is
silly,
a goddess.
I say how she is.
She's a goddess of ancient wisdom. Our boss is.
Talking smack about the boss. She gonna turn you into a frog? Yeah, Heidi. She said she don't know spanking ancient wisdom. What can you do with ancient wisdom? Nothing, fart. You need knowledge from today's wisdom.
What's ancient wisdom, Heidi? Yeah, Heidi, what's your definition of
ancient wisdom? Is an old smelly book that makes you sneeze.
What is ancient?
Stop that, Heidi. Your head's big as it is. Don't do that. God.
Yeah, man. If you hear an explosion up there in Canada, you know it's got to be your head.
Heidi, she ain't on you.
Heidi, how could you?
I know. Well, now I understand why she was kind of floating around in her room the other night. Now I got the reason why. I understand now.
Oh, God. We love you, Heidi.
Kimberly, we're talking about the station manager.
Oh my hell. Ha, ha, ha. Ancient wisdom is wisdom that is sacred knowledge.
Oh, so it's fart wisdom is what you're telling me. The old world sucks. Let me tell you something. The old world had control for 6,000 years. They sucked. Now it's the new world's time. No more that old ancient crap, dusty, stinky, mildewy, smelling shit. It's time for the new world to take over. It's time for some real change. This place is
okay.
bad for us.
For Heidi, here's one for Heidi. How do you know that is sacred knowledge? Ancient wisdom, sacred knowledge? How do you know that? How do you know it's sacred, Heidi? We would like to have an answer, if you don't mind. If that's okay with you. But what is sacred knowledge? Do you know what sacred knowledge is, Joe?
You know what sacred knowledge is? Look, I can't. Whoop.
Oh, there she is.
There
she is. Look.
She like me.
Oh my God. honest to God, you cannot tell she is there with that shirt you have on.
No, she's the deepest. You gotta see her at night, and then you can't see her at night in the house.
You can't. She blends right into your shirt.
She goes, but she brought too.
How heavy
Y'all
is
got
she
the
now?
beard shit. About 5 pounds.
5 pounds?
Yeah, maybe a little less. Can you see what? Show them your eyes. Show them your eyes. Jump out. Like, no,
What's her name again?
Lola.
Lola.
She is
Hey,
Lola.
Lola.
She likes to be addressed as Miss Servant Lola.
Miss Lola. Lola. Hi, Lola.
Well, she heard
Oh,
that.
her ears perked up. Hi, Lola.
She heard you through the earbud inside my ear.
Okay, Heidi says techniques and value information passed down from generation to generation.
Oh, dusty, dirty shit you need to hose
Oh,
off.
come on, Heidi. Come on. Did you Google that? I'm joking. I'm being bad tonight. Techniques and valued information passed down from generation to generation. Techniques and value. But
so now let me explain now how this is going to work from this point forward. It's going to be like this. So in 2050, when your kid's born, about 6 months, no, about 2 months before it's ready to be born, you're going to go into the hospital and they're going to go, okay, what is this bad thing? No, we're going to take this out, and that's got to go, that's got to go, that's go. Okay, we're going to put this in. And they're going to modify everything, and then your baby's going to be born. And then you're going to have a good, healthy, no problem baby. Not going to have any weird desires or want to kill anybody or rape or kill or anything like that. Just to be a normal child that wants to accelerate and whatever it's accelerated. A lot of shit's going to just get wiped away as we become a more and more and more advanced society. Because we don't, if we know it's there, because we already know that there's some things we have predispositions for. So, like addictions, these are things that could be wiped out pre-birth.
that's crazy.
And they can tell people who have a thing for homicide now. So, we talking about gay. I don't know if gay is going to work or not because they don't consider gay to be, so being born, you can't be born gay is what they're saying. Gay, it requires a choice somewhere down the line. Well, you can have a disposition for it, but you can't be born gay. What they mean by that is there can be genes that make you maybe feel like you're this, that, or the other thing, or you may have desire for this, that, or the other thing. But let's be honest, till you hit puberty, you really don't know anything. That's when they start talking about transitioning kids. So how many of these kids are going to want to change back? When we did reports last night, it said 65%. Matter of fact, we even featured one of the 14-year-old girls who they let her have a double vasectomy at 14. Yeah. And now she's back to being a regular girl, and she's still pissed. She couldn't believe they let them do it to her. So, I don't know if that'll take that out of it. It might. But that'll be up to the parents anyway. Somebody's going to have to make that choice. And I imagine there'll be limitations what they can do, but you'll have enhancements and there'll be less violence. Well, think of it this way. If you could reduce the hormones in children from age, say, 13 to age 26 or 28 by half, they would become much more productive and would get way less trouble. What do you mean? My mom said I was whistling when I came out. She said I was whistling.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's Mish. Said first thing I said.
Mish, what does that mean by saying no baby is happy to be born? What's that mean?
Pissed off. That's why.
I be honest with you, I wouldn't want to bring a baby into this world. It sucks.
Yeah, man, I bring 5 of them bitches in here for sure, maybe 10.
That's my opinion.
I'm gonna eat on. We should have lots of them. See, that's the problem. The people who make it different in the world don't want to have kids anymore, and the people who don't make a difference in the world want to have a bunch of kids. Well, that's got to stop. We're making it just as bad as they did. We should be having 5. When I was a kid, half my friends were in families of 7 to 10. So I look around at their kids today, their families are 1 to 2. That's a big difference. We're gonna let ourselves get bred out.
Play on words. Mish just said, Joe said no baby is born gay. Gay means happy.
Right. You know what I meant. And I do say that because we are trying to retake the gay word. We're trying to retake the queer and the gay word. It's part of our
We got the queer one.
Yeah, we've been making good progress on it. And actually I've heard it on a couple of TV shows now. People talk about we're taking the queer word back. We're gonna take the gay word back too. Because I've
Who's
said this
crying?
before.
Heidi, are you crying? Wow. Heidi, what did you put in your coffee, Heidi?
She put some of that Democratic blue juice in it. Now her hair's starting to shit.
So Joe could be gay if he came out happy.
No, unfortunately, I really like women too much to be gay, so it's not really a thing with me. But
The baby being born is crying. I'll be honest. I would not want to bring a baby into this world.
Not all babies born cry. I mean, a lot of babies have to be slapped.
Yeah, I got slapped. My mom told me I got slapped. I didn't come out crying. Yeah. Hey, that's a good. Well, you know what? We don't have Jay here, but he could put up like one of them polls that he likes to do, and say, well, should we? What do people think about bringing babies into the night world?
Well, that's an easy one. We talked about that last night. You don't remember? So,
Yeah,
you got this question wrong. Said a bunch of people. So when I asked Sean last night, well, I asked the whole audience last night, or people in their 30s have more or less babies today, they said they're not, but they're not only having more, but like it leaps and bounds, 30 or 40%.
I don't see it at work. I don't see it at work, dude.
But marriage amongst that same group is down.
What was that?
Marriage in that same group is down. So people have babies and aren't getting married. I don't know. It's way up. It was weird when I first heard it. I was like, what? But it's not just up for them. It's up for women in their 40s, which shouldn't even be having babies, really. In the 20s, it's holding about even. Well, they say the bottom of the Z genders and maybe the top of the alphas might be like the original baby boomers or the generation before the baby boomers, the lost generation, wanted to have big families. People today, there's people I know would have had bigger families if it would have been more affordable. And I'm not talking about feeding them or clothes them or housing. I'm talking about sending them to school. If you've got 5 kids and you're going to send them all to college, you're talking, $500 million to send them to a decent school.
Buku bucks, man.
And no, you mean Ivy League? No, that's a couple $1 million if you send 5 kids. But I was thinking something in the middle somewhere, maybe like LSU or something, maybe a little step up.
I don't know about that. Joe would know this one.
What?
Heidi says, I swear, sidetracked. LL, why in the hell would you link your phone to your car speakers and have it cranked up while talking on it?
Because you're a fucking retard.
Don't say that about Heidi. She's beautiful. No.
I didn't say Heidi was a retard. I said whoever's doing that was a retard.
Oh, she said, sorry, dude, I don't want to hear your
because because somebody's got their phone hooked to their speaker so they hear and everything. It's either that or they're an idiot and just can't figure out how to turn it off. Just turn the Bluetooth off, asshole. You ain't even got to turn it to the phone. Just turn the fucking Bluetooth off and it'll go off. The only time my phone ever was connected to my speakers, my car speakers, is if I'm listening to music. Yeah, because I had this thing on my what you call the phone that when it rang, it was plenty loud enough on the phone that I didn't have to have it go through my speakers. Because I like still having the music playing in the background while I was talking. I hated that it would stop. Plus, it fucks up your GPS. The GPS don't work right with the phone's on.
Oh, she said, plus they're talking in Mexican.
Oh yeah,
They're talking
that
in
makes them in
Mexican.
there. Say hasta la vista,
I
dickhead.
see what you're saying, Heidi. Okay.
Hey, Kara, how you
Sean.
been?
Hey, Kara. Good to see you. Good to see you.
AI
Mish has
blues.
been loving the AI blues music. Oh,
What the
we'll
fuck
get
are you
kicked
talking
off for
about,
playing
Mish?
any.
Not AI. That can't kick us off that.
What do you got coming up, Joe?
Not yet. We're not. I was just reading with Mish and I was. Oh, Frank. Nora Jones. I know Nora Jones. Why do I know Nora Jones? Nora Jones.
Okay,
She sings
you know,
something
while
famous.
you're reading, I'm going to pull another card for Heidi, Mish, and Carol. Okay, so here girl goes. First one I pulled was a deer with its head chopped off. Okay, so I'm pulling another card for you three young ladies. You're welcome. And ladies, we have, where are we at? Where's it at? Why can't, oh, you know why? Because I have my camera.
Because we can't see you. That's why. Yeah.
There you go. We got the spider. We have the spider, ladies, for you. So you had the deer, the first card. Now you have the spider. So, you know, you all right there, Joe?
Yes, I was just trying to get a fat dog over here. So figure out. Let's see. Oh, you talking about Stargate and what's his name? Anderson. I can't think of his name full name. Because you said Wesley. Now I got Wesley D. Smith in my head from. He's an author that owns a publishing.
Yes, spider. Katie, you're out. Spider. That's the card I drew. I don't know. I miss Jay. I miss Jay.
He's not gay. Why do you keep saying Jay's gay?
I didn't
Stop
say
using
that.
gay.
I said,
well, his hat. Oh no, that's true.
I said I miss Jay.
We reclaimed the gay word. That just means he's happy. That means
Okay, yeah, he's a happy Jay. Yeah, we reclaimed the gay word. We reclaimed the queer. What's the next word we've got to reclaim?
We'll talk about that. I got an idea. But one word at a time. We don't want to start a revolt or anything.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, there's supposed to be ghosties everywhere. Why don't we see them all the time? I don't know. I live in New Orleans, one of the most haunted cities on the fucking planet, and still you don't see much. And not everybody's gonna see anything. You have to be.
Yeah, Jay Ross, Heidi. Jay Ross.
No, then you have to be like clairvoyant, but you have to be
Aware.
aware.
What's that mean?
What you doing? What you breaking in?
Oh, I see where you're getting at, Mish. Haha. I missed Jay, so okay, I think I know where that one's going.
Oh yeah, see we mentioned the queer word too much. See what happened? Oh
Yeah, I
man.
know.
Oh man, now we see what's going on. Now they're getting weird.
Okay, Heidi says, I think that is universal law that they aren't supposed to be seen. Then Heidi, why are they showing themselves? Why are they being seen?
Who's being seen where?
The ghosts. You know the veil is totally down now, and it's been down for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, then all the ghosts must be crossing over because they ain't no damn
They are,
ghosts.
dude. They are. I'm telling you, they are.
They going home, man. They're like, we out of this place. The asteroids come to wipe out the humans. It's time to leave. Who wants to be haunting space?
And they want help really bad, you know. And there's some of us that will help them, but they want to, of course they want to be noticed, Heidi. Of course they do.
So
they have so much. Let me throw this at Heidi real quick, Joe, and you can have the rest of the show.
Yeah, good. No,
Okay. Imagine yourself as a ghost, okay, and you died over 100 years ago. And the only place that you go to is in the cemetery. That's where you stay. You don't go nowhere else. All right. And all of a sudden, you're standing there next to your headstone, and you see a bunch of people walking in your home, basically, and with these lights and all this kind of stuff. And you say to yourself, "Oh my God, they can hear me." Would you not want to go up and communicate with them? The people what I'm talking about are the people who walk through cemeteries. Think about it. Of course they want to be talked to. They have a story because their family's gone. They don't come visit them no more. And they finally realize there's somebody that can talk to me, talk to the ghost, then they're going to do whatever they can to communicate with you. Oh my God! What? Your puppy's big there. Look at that little puppy. What do you mean by maybe or maybe not, Heidi? I'm not being rude or nothing. Would you want to? Would you want to go see them? Would you want to get your story out? If you were a ghost. Maybe they're crabby mofos. That's right. The crab's coming up. The astral sign, the zodiac sign, Cancer's coming up pretty soon. Yes. But I heard, Heidi, that Mercury's in retrograde, which is in Cancer. Yeah. Pre-retrograde, but it will be in the sign of Cancer. I read that. I don't understand it, but I read that. Okay, Joe, it's all yours, man. I'm
We
done.
just watch it, man. We just watch Duffy, and we just watch it.
Look at that puppy.
Shit.
No, depending on how their views are. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, that's what I read,
She's the baby girl.
Well, look at that. She's looking at me. What's her name?
That's Princess Fiona. She's the one
Is that
owns
Fiona?
the other. Yeah, that's Fiona, and she is the princess to Lola.
Is that a Star Trek thing?
No. Lola. Fiona is from the princess, not the Princess Bride from Shrek, and Lola is just Lola, just a regular everyday name.
How old is the little one you're holding?
This one, she's 5 or 6, and the other one's a year younger.
Is that the one that goes after squirrels?
And this one's got to go to bed because she's got a swollen boob. They're what demon? Okay, we're gonna get down. We're not supposed to be on TV. You want to be famous? She said, yeah. He says, kitty cat. Where's kitty cat? No kitty cat? No, it ain't no kitty cat, Daddy. We're in the house. Don't try to mess with me. I know what we're doing. We're on the radio. She does exactly what's going on. This one's name is Fiona.
Fiona?
We got this dog. She looked like a little moo cow. I didn't mean she was fat or anything, but her markings were like one of those heifer cows, those dairy cows. And I said, it's not a good sign. She's probably going to be big breasted. She's a big girl. She's 15 pounds. So I will bite the hell out of her. But you see, she's not a barker. Usually, if she barks, somebody's here. Okay, right there. Hold on. Just sit and hang out with us. Yeah, I think that's right. My daughter can do it, Mark. She had a birthday. She's born on the equinox, so. Yeah, she's a Gemini. Okay, now how y'all doing out there? I hope there's no Geminis.
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, see, that explains everything. Oh my God, that explains everything. Geminis are the second craziest sign in this area.
There we are, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Thank you for looking that up, Heidi. I'm going to read it up real quick. Mercury is in Cancer now and goes retro in 1 week. Mercury is the planet of communication and intellect and enters
Hey,
sensitive
Mark.
water sign of Cancer. Your mind stops processing life. Ah, cool. Thank you for that. Thank you, Heidi, for saying it. Like a spreadsheet and starts processing it like a diary. Okay. Mark Eddy wants to know, do we ever take a break?
Take a break for what? We just come off a break. That's what you mean. But
No, he's talking about how we're on shows all weekend long. Friday, Saturday, and
we got
me on Sunday.
people want to, hear us. Actually, Frank J. don't have his own show. He hosts with me and he hosts with Jeff. Yeah. Boy.
Feeling all the feels.
He actually, that's where he started with Jeffrey. Jeffrey started with us and he started with Jeff. Yeah. Right is the future. Go by the book. Yeah, look right here.
So what's everybody's plans for the weekend? Oh, by the way, everybody out there, happy Father's Day to everybody, all the guys, and happy Father's Day to all the women, single mothers out there. Happy Father's Day to you too.
Happy Go Get a Husband Day. Children should never be raised in single families. It's not fair to the child. Not even a little bit, actually. A mother or a father, doesn't matter which one, cannot give a child everything they need.
Nope.
Mothers really can't give the daughter a sense of security like a father can. There's quite a few things that can. Same thing with the son. Eventually, those children have to back up and go, not necessarily against their parents, but you need somebody to buck up against that's safe where they won't get hurt. You got to try how you going to go through life now? How you going to talk to people? How you going to deal with people? Are you going to have anger issues?
I don't know, Joe. What are we going to talk about now?
I was actually thinking about Uncle Elon owning being the third wealthiest country in the world by this time next year. And it's just a man. Just a man he can be the third wealthiest country in the world, fourth wealthiest country in the world. That's how much money he'll have. Within 2 years, he'll have as much money as the fourth wealthiest country in the world. Within 10, he'll have more money than America does. One person with the money of a country with 400 million people in it. That's insane. It's also brilliant. But you know what? Just what the media doesn't like to talk about. So he made this IPO. He made his $1 trillion+ but he made 4,400 millionaires came out of this. People who was with him, with his company, or invested with him. 4,400 millionaires and $400 million heirs or more. He made a lot of people rich just for believing in him. And he didn't make him just a little rich. He made him rich.
Right. By taking stock into that company.
I don't know how they did it because it wasn't in the beginning when it didn't work with it. He must have gave him something that equaled out so when they went into stock they could have some. I don't know how Jess put it. No, it was worthless to the people till it went public. And now that it's going public, they're all worth this money. I think it's great he did that. 5,000 more millionaires. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They're all going to spend their money
Isn't that
right
crazy?
here in the U.S. They're going to go out and spend their money right here. No, there's been a lot of weird ghost season before. You can go down. I've told the story before, but you can go down usually between 2 and 4 a.m. Go walk around Jackson by St. Louis Cathedral and walk inside. That's where these where they used to buy and sell the slaves, and where they used to execute people on both sides, and where there was a lot of the marketplaces and foods and stuff like that were all right there. And you'll see people walking that look like they're in antebellum clothes or something. And they're not people because there's nothing actually there. But we were there with a group coming back from Bourbon Street. We've been drinking. We weren't actually out. It was ghost hunt. We've just been drinking. And we walked up on Pirates Alley, and there was 3 women walking along these massive dresses. We just figured they were coming from a party. But they were just, talking, walking. Nothing strange, nothing unusual. The people sitting, there was 2 couples sitting eating dinner, early morning dinner on the side of the thing in front of the restaurant. Yes, people, you can have dinner outside on the street at 3 o'clock in the morning from a fancy restaurant. Well, it's a weird thing, but you can. But anyway, they watching, and we're all watching and walking, and they just like faded out like somebody took an eraser away. And they were gone. No fuss, no mess, no craziness, no nothing. But there's been a lot of crazy stuff seen in them alleyways, man. People screaming for their life. And not far from there is the what the hell they call it? Where the nuns
Vampire
stay.
thing?
No, where the
vampire?
nuns stay. No, it's where the nuns
The
stay.
convent. The convent?
Yeah. So the convent's also world famous for lots of reasons, including selling them, bringing them from overseas and selling them to local men. Oh yeah, there was lots of that stuff. Oh yeah. In the city of New Orleans, if you were a woman, you didn't have any rights unless you had money. If you had money, you had rights. You didn't have money. No, you could be black if you had money. Maria Laveau got to pretty much do what she wanted. So you had to have respect and money, and for the most part, they would leave you. Unless they thought you were like a werewolf or a bad person.
What was the name of that lady that owned that hotel down there where she killed her slaves?
It's too long.
It's really big. It's the name is huge.
Let's see, it's Claremont de Montfillon. It might have been a moment. I'd have to go look to be sure, but all the old hotels are haunted because they're all 150, 200 years old. All the old restaurants are because they're 150, 200 years old. Jimmy, it's
Does Anne Rice live in New Orleans?
She used to. She's in San Francisco last time. She used to keep places in both places, but she got a little older. But she got into it with the guy who owned Popeye's Fried Chicken. He wanted to build this, I forgot what they called it on St. Charles, which is the old district. And she was like, no, it'll look fucking ugly and blah, blah, blah. They had a big thing. And they beefed for a while. He won some, she won some. But anyway, I think in the end, because she used to do she used to put on a ball on All Hallows Eve she owned a convent that she converted into quarters. Well, it was a convent that had been converted into quarters, into slave quarters, and into a house. But anyway, it was a great place. But all of a sudden, she just decided she was moving to San Fran. And last I checked, that's where she was living. People don't even realize she started out writing spicy romance novels.
But wasn't there a big controversy about her vampire books where people were like not condemning her, but saying that she wasn't right at some of the stories she wrote?
Well, no, they didn't like things like, okay, one thing she wrote was, so some of the vampires would come to New Orleans from other places so that they could bite people at night. So, because, people were doing drugs and drinking all night long. Well, they could bite you on the ankle or knee or leg or whatever, or have sex, whatever, and suck your blood out, and whatever you were experiencing, they could experience. But they didn't like drain you dry or turn you into a vampire. They just did it so they could get high. It's one of the things they didn't like. And the vampire community especially didn't like. They got pissed about it. But everybody was like, well, fuck you. You know, it probably is true that if you get pissed about it. And then there's things like she said they really got mad because they thought that she was giving away secrets like Antoine's. So when you walk in Antoine's, I forgot how old it is, but there's 5 generations of people that from Antoine's family running it. 5 generations in a row. Might even be 6. And regardless, each picture is in a more modern era than the other. Clothes on, but it looks like the same person. If you start and walk the entire wall, it looks like the same person. Just looks like they changed clothes. But it looks like the same person at the same age, no less. It's very creepy. So she said he was a vampire. He's the one who met Lestat in France. So I don't know. It was strange, but she knew a lot about a lot of things. So she must have known somebody that was either in the community or was an actual vampire. Because there's a large vampire community in New Orleans now. Are they real vampires? Well, they do drink blood. And they do drink human blood. But real vampires, they're not really that kind of vampire. Now, are there some living amongst them? They say they are because when I interviewed the king and queen of the vampire community a couple of years back, they said they were donors.
They were what?
Donors. So the royalty of the vampire clans donate their blood to the vampires, so they have blood supplies. Not just they donate them in bags and stuff, but they also don't bring their bodies there, so the vampire are going to enjoy taking it from the living people. But they also bag blood for them to have, and also the community itself uses the blood itself because they
Are the people in that type of community? Are they cool or are they assholes?
Just depends on the person. Like everybody else on the planet. Some are okay, some are idiots, some are crazy, some are all like hyped up and strung out. It's just crazy. But they all drink blood. The real ones, not real ones, and they all have slaves or donors. They like to call them donors. Yeah, like the king and queen, they had these 2 young girls that used to donate blood to them. Yeah, it became almost like a sexual thing. Hey, whatever turns you on, that's your business. But it seemed like just a little bit on the crazy side of it. Just one of them things. But I mean, the community is well alive, and then they had the necromancers community, and they got caught with a dead body. And well, one of their members donated their body to the community so that they could have sex with the body for power.
Oh, no. Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. It's one of the things they believe. Yeah. Sex with the cadaver along with certain ointments and things for help.
That's sick.
Also, it would give them control of the corpse if they needed to use it. Like the Day of the Dead kind of people or something. Zombie. People are weird, as I can tell you. You know, true or not true, as far as they're concerned, it's all real. Dean, I've done a couple of interviews with some movies. I try to stay away from them as they gotten older and their how can I say this? Their group has changed somewhat over the years. Their leadership group, the king and queen's still in charge. The same people I knew from back in the day. They seem, I don't want to say more desperate, but it definitely seemed like there's urgency to something. I don't know. You'd have to ask the vampires. Well, no, I was friends with. It was weird how I met all these people. I got involved with all this. It was all very strange, coincidental. I don't even know how to explain all this. So I met this guy who originally told me he was Alistair Crowley's great grandson. And of course, I barked, I gave you full of shit, blah, 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 blah. Come to find out he really is still alive, still friends with Alistair Crowley's great grandson or great great grandson. Regardless, that's who he is. So I met him. We were introduced to a witch we both knew at the time. And we used to hang out and talk. And one afternoon, we were at a restaurant in New Orleans, and right across the street is where Marie LeBeau used to have her shop. And we got to talking about it. He said, I know Marie LeBeau's great great grandson. And I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here, no way. Well, he did. And that's when I found out that Marie LeBeau is not buried at Graveyard 1 or 2 where everybody thinks she is, but they had a private house in a swamp, and that's where she's buried. And yes, I got to go see. So for sure, it's not a rumor, it's not anything else, it's an actual fact.
I hear people when they go into the swamp, they see her ghost.
Well, if they're in that area, they probably would, because it's her area. That whole area belonged to her family. And they did a lot of stuff back then. They had a lot of little cabins, little houses and stuff. They still got a pretty. You can only get back there by boat. You can't even get back there in a big boat. You have to either paddle or push boat. It's not deep enough to run an engine. So yeah, and so it's a ways back. It's a few miles back. You're already like 12 miles to 14 miles back in the swamp before where you launch your P-log to go back. And they would always have somebody pick up the cars. They had sat phones, so they always had somebody pick up the cars. So there was no car there, so you wouldn't know anybody was back there. When you pay attention to it. They were back there doing all kind of magic, all kind of stuff. Well, the three of us came pretty tight for a long time. That's back when I used to practice. And it's people. I dabbled in witchcraft. That was a bad word, but all that stuff happened to me after my dad died. I was pissed off. So I was trying, but I got out of religion because I was pissed at God. So I said, how can you take a 15-year-old kid's dad? I was pissed. So I tried a lot of different things. And anyway, when I met Linda, she was studying with Gavin and Yvonne, which was looking out of New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, somewhere in that area where they were out of. And but I had already started studying Crowley's great-grandson, great-great-grandson. And it's two different types of magic. And the Crowleys really believed in a lot of sex magic and things like that. They got into a lot of that stuff. And then when I met the great-grandson, Marie, he was into like a hoodoo, voodoo, Christian kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. Well, because they still use Christianity in their stuff, guys. Their voodoo incorporates Christianity, so it's weird.
It's all the saints, correct?
Yeah, they use a lot of things, and it's not out of disrespect. It's out of pure respect, so it's very strange how they do it. But, listen to that and getting involved in that, so it gave me a very unique perspective on the whole thing. I studied for quite some time, learned a lot of stuff. Could do a lot of stuff. And then one day, and this could piss off a lot of people, I was working with a contactee about something. And somehow or another, she touched my brain inside. It was a little telepathic communication. And it was in such a way that I realized that this had nothing to do with magic or anything else. This was just sheer chemistry and will. And after that point, I started realizing, I wonder if I can force the issue. So with magic, we have tools, spells, and potions, and crutches, and wands and stuff to help you to do what you need to do. What I learned was you didn't need any of that shit. That was a diversion that actually slows you down. Because most magic is simply your will over matter around you. But magic gives you that step by step. It helps you to build confidence that you can do this, because you need a confidence to do it. You actually have to believe in yourself to make it work. And that's what magic does for most people. But in this case, I realized that it did. But I also realized that I didn't need tarot cards anymore. I read much better without them. And I was a damn good reader. I made a lot of money.
Right.
But I was just much better without
To
them.
me, the tarot deck is just a crutch.
It is a crutch.
Just
true.
like the cards I pull. Okay. I don't use them. The only time I use them is when I do my shows and your show. But whenever I do readings for people, I use them. But I don't use it for a crutch because it scares people when I can sit down and look at them and tell them their whole life story, and they just get up and they go away. I got a story for you, and this is a true story. So I was doing a psychic fair, and I kept seeing this one lady sitting there, and I know she wanted to come to me because she let people pass her up. She would let people go ahead of her. Hey, Sherry. And this is a true story. So finally, my table opened up, and she got up, came over. Before she sat down, Joe, I looked at her and I said, you better take the wedding ring out of your purse and put it on your finger because you have a habit of losing things. You know, it said, like, you have a habit of losing things. And if you went home without that wedding ring on your finger, your husband would get really mad at you. She put her purse down, opened up her purse, put the wedding ring on, threw me a 50 and walked away. Just like that. And I didn't use no cards.
Well,
I like psychometry. I like psychometry.
So I got this weird thing that happens, and no one on any instructions I've ever worked with that can tell me why it works the way it does. But so I can force the issue to look at people's lives. But sometimes I'll just be talking to someone. I could be on the phone. I could be standing next to them. I could have just touched them. But for some reason, I will get like 5 or 10 years of their life, picture for picture for picture. I mean, complete. And I remember the first time I told this to somebody, and I said, I've seen this about you. And I told them everything that we do. We were to meet the whole 9 yards. And I remember 3 years later, she came to me. She says, Joe. And she pulls out a picture of this guy, and she says, then she tells me, you said he was going to do this for a living. This is what he's doing. She said, everything you said is 100% true. She said, I want to know how this is going to end. I said, I don't know. It looked that far ahead. I said, all I can tell you is for 10 years, this is somebody you're going to be with. I said, we didn't really look beyond that. We just looked to that. And I said, and I can tell you that in 10 years, you're going to be happy. And she's been, now it's been past 10 years. So it's been longer. But there's a lot of people I've read like that. It just hits me like a weight. And and I need to get it out then so I don't forget the details. I'll actually, and if it's somebody I'm not actually talking to at the time and it hits me, I will pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, look, turn on the recorder. What's that, Mike? No, it's just like a wave that just comes over you.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Joe, because that happens to me. I look at a person and I could just tell right away, boom. And I do it a lot at work, but I don't go up to them or I'll get fired. Tell them what I say.
Yeah, I know. Glenn, it is clairvoyancy to an extent. Well, contactees are telepathic and empathic for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. If someone's telepathic and empathic ability is strong enough, I imagine clairvoyancy isn't that far up the list. And how far they can see ahead, I don't know. But it does seem like some of them can't do it. Telekinesis seems to be the hardest. It actually seems harder than seeing the future. Figure that one out.
You know what, Mish?
Do the most damage.
Mish is right. It's a form of invasion of privacy. It is. You know, we are invading their privacy. But Mish, I'm being honest with you. It just comes on just like that. It's not like I'm actually sitting down and thinking what that person is thinking. It just comes and it goes. So
Well, telepathy is a form of evasion for sure. So technically, empath is as well. Well, in contactees or in abductees cases, it's not always their fault because your ass is transmitting. They're just a receiver. You're the one
True,
that
Mish.
going beep, 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 sending your whole brain out to the world. And some people have the ability to get in your head. Uh, I still teach dream weaving. I have been teaching dream weaving for 37 years. There's a couple things I teach that are shortcuts that can bring you quick, fast, hard power. You ever do the tapered candle trick? So I can teach you something with candles. If you can master it, then you can master a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. You'd be surprised. So you take two tapered candles, set them about this far apart. What you do is you put them up against each other so that the flames touch, and then you pull them apart to just where the flames no longer touch. So they're usually about that far apart. So you set them down, you put them in a thing, and you start to concentrate. The goal is to get those two flames to bend far enough that they can wrap together and stay wrapped together the entire time you're thinking about it. Now, wind can't do this. It's easier. The closer the candle is, of course, the easier it is. But you want it out to so where the flames are going to touch about the middle. You can put it in a little close if you have to, but usually if you keep those candles about 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart, and you can make those two tall flames, the flames are usually about that tall, wrap around each other and stay there. You've got a gift that you can do all kinds of stuff. Not include just get into people's heads and have a look-see around. It can also help you teach you stealth mode so people don't know that you were in their head. But more importantly, it can teach you physical telekinesis, how to defend yourself with thought. And remember this, you don't need to be able to bench press or throw hunks of steel at people to fuck them up. All you need to think is artery close. Pinch a little tiny artery this big, just close it on the heart vessel, and guess what? Somebody's going to have a heart attack. Do the same thing in their brain. Blood vessels going to burst or dead. And it's all natural. That's how you know telekinesis. Ooh, what's your man, baby? They touched it on you, okay?
Did you step on her?
No. I think I just startled. You okay? They didn't do anything. So you okay? No. Just calm down. I think I startled. Yeah, because she was asleep. Yeah, Jessie. Yeah, you heard her squeaky. She did kind of sound like a squeaky toy. She's a little sweetie bear, is what she is. Well, my two males, they would have torn my ass up for that. They wouldn't bite. They'd bite everybody else in the house. They wouldn't bite me. Max was 4 pounds. He's the meanest fucking dog I ever seen. He thought he was a Rottweiler. And Charlie was a lover, but Charlie was a lover. You pissed him off, he tried to get you, and he held a grudge too to this shit. But he was what they call a giant Chihuahua. He was 18 pounds. He was tall, long-legged. He looked just like a Chihuahua, but he was the size of Jack Russell. Yeah, he was crazy. It was crazy. I've seen some hairy stuff out in a lot of places. Well, there's a place we go. So if you're ever on Interstate 10 and you're headed towards Mississippi, and you're headed east towards Mississippi, and the first exit you come in, if you take the right off the exit and then make a U-turn and go down a little ways, there's going to be a little street down there about a mile and a half that you can turn to go park on. There's a gravel road, and then it turns into a blacktop road. You notice on the blacktop road there's an X. It's a big yellow X. And they come and repaint this X every year, even though there's nothing out there. NASA's out there, but nothing else is around that spot. They just keep repainting it. Well, countless amount of people have seen grays right there. Right there. And
Seen what, Joe? Seen what?
Gray aliens. They see them right there. And not one people, there's been many, many reports from this one spot. They think the grays must have a little mini base and come out and mess around in the swamp and all. Well, it's a great place to sky watch and stuff too, where it's at. No, they're just there. And so there's a video that we put out a ball. It'd probably take you forever to find it, but it's So we brought some contactees, some telepathic contactees out there, and to see if we ran into a gray, if they could actually, get into a gray's head or stop it from movement, or stop it from doing things. So it was an experiment. That's what it was. So 3 good telepaths against gray. So anyway, while they're there, so there's 7 people. 40 people standing up by the road watching. It was a shooting star, so they were sitting up on the car watching the shooting star. And the other 3 in the back. Well, it was 8 of them, sorry, because there was 4 in the back, 3 were in the back trying to make contact with the gray. So the gray comes out. So now you can hear this on the tape. Now you hear everybody watching the shooting stars, right? You can hear them talking about, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? But then you can hear the people in the background talking about how they're dealing with this gray. You can actually hear this on the tape. And then you hear this weird sound, which no one to this day still doesn't know what the hell it is. And then you hear, see, we managed to slow him down, we managed to stop him, and that's what the contactees are saying. And then you hear one of them say, oh, wait, no, wait. You hear him say this like 5 or 6 times. And they said, but there's 3 now. So 2 more grays showed up. And from that point on, everything changed. So you hear a lot of noise, a lot of screaming, a lot of hollering, and then you don't hear anything. And then about 7 hours later, everybody's in Waffle House eating breakfast.
You all right, Joe? What were you looking at?
Yeah, I was just looking.
What's
that? Just looking. That's all I was doing. No, Shelby, there's some places down here. If you are a contactee or an abductee, there are places down here you will go and you can see aliens. You're not going to see them if you're not a contactee. For some reason, there must be some type of chemical change to the body, or the mind, and the eyes once you've been able to have contact with them, because they see them. But we already know this because of places like the sightings in Phoenix. That ship was huge, and it was over Phoenix for a long time, but only a handful out of the 2 million people there, only I think a couple thousand reported. Mexico City was there for almost a day. 1 million people reported seeing it, but the other 22 million people who lived there didn't see anything. So you have to ask yourself, why? What is it? So it only seems like people who have had contact or can really actually see a friend. It doesn't look like it's just random and anybody can see them, or the aliens for that. And maybe it's bred into us. We don't know how long they've been here. We assume it's only 6,000 or 7,000 years, but we don't know. I mean, whoever messed with Rh negative was 40 to 60,000 years ago. So if they were messing with our DNA then, yeah, they could have easily made it to where we see them favorably, or we want to protect them, or we want to do this, that, or the other thing. You got to wonder why people who get taken don't go running screaming into the night all the time.
Hey, Kevin. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for popping in.
You got to wonder. You got to wonder if aliens are doing what they're saying they are. Why are people more freaked out than they are? Especially now with the government saying it's almost like our DNA is designed not to react that way to. Probably put a little trimmer in there. So.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be yawning, Papa.
I'm tired. We got about 15 minutes.
What are you talking about, Jesse? Well, it's possible that ET has a base. It's possible they have bases on the war. It's possible they have bases on Moon. It's possible they have bases on ships and moons out near the middle of the galaxy. I mean, middle of the solar system. Problem is, we just don't know. What you have to ask yourself more, the question that people need to ask, that not even the government is asking, is if, like the Crush guy said, they kept coming to him and wrecking, and we kept recovering here 75 saucers and all kind of EBEs and stuff. If that was true, first we got to ask why the aliens keep doing it. But you really need to ask, why are they doing it? Why are they so desperate to get here? Why have they been here for all this time? What is it about the human race that they're after? Or are they just hoping we die so they can have our planet?
I'll see you, Miss. Thanks for stopping in.
TCK, Miss. Actually, Gene, I'm going to actually go make some French toast after this. Yeah, good French toast. I like to torture the show.
Sounds good.
Well, actually, no, because most everybody's hungry when they do a show, when they get off air from a show. It takes a lot of work. What was that, Carmen? No, Heidi said she's going to host with us next week. Yeah, Heidi said she was going to come host with us.
Yes, Heidi, when are you coming on the show, Heidi, to host with us?
Yeah, Heidi, when you come on the show, Heidi. Don't maybe tell Michelle you were saying bad stuff about it. I'll make some good shit up here. And then I'll record it into the show, and I'll cut it into the show and make it sound like you did it. What's Heidi? It was Heidi.
Damn it.
Heidi did it.
Oh my gosh. She was so excited about coming on and co-hosting with us. She said, damn it, I about tripped getting my phone.
I know why you did. We've been needing
She
female
said-
here forever.
And she said she would love to come on. So see you next week.
Yeah, because we got to get a female sooner. We're going to have to put a skirt and a wig on Jay. Well, it's Jay because Jay's skinny enough. Sean and I are too big. We can't put in a skirt. We'd scare people.
Yep.
Yeah,
That we
Jay,
do.
Jay could shave his legs, shave his beard. He'd be cute. Put a little wig on, a little redheaded wig on.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, JB cute, man. Y'all hate on JB cute. That's it. Wait, somebody just said they'd pay money for that. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, this is
I'd shave my hair and my beard. And I'll get naked. Yeah.
Oh Lord. You know how I know it. You know how I know it's really bad when I get naked when the dogs leave. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, come on. Your dogs won't even stay. You know things are bad.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
No, we're getting ready to go, Dean. What do you got?
We got Don't Whistle at Night coming right on after us. Dawn and Darren.
The hard news has been laid back. So, real quick, tropical storm flushes coast, floods living shit out, does all kind of damage. A peace treaty on hold with Iran, but looks like it's still going to happen. Gas prices down. Currently, oil's at $74 a barrel, which means if we down here should start seeing about $2.30 at that. At $60, we're usually around $1.60, $1.70. So.
I filled up my tank today, $4.59.
Damn, still?
Yeah.
You see, Pittsburgh people, you get together and vote every Democrat out of your state.
We try.
Every Democrat. Do you know what gas prices down here right now? $2.69.
Damn. You know we pay 57.59 tax on gas.
Yeah, plus you pay the federal tax.
Yep.
So for every gallon of gas, you're paying more than $1 in taxes per gallon. That's ridiculous. That should never happen.
Well, that's our Governor Shapiro asshole. He's an asshole.
Well, no, so let's say we'll just use $4. So $4, $1 goes to Pittsburgh per gallon. $1 usually going to end up with the trucking firms and stuff like that. And the other $2 go to the oil company. But one of those dollars has to go to research, development, and getting it out the ground. So the other dollar is about profit. But when you talk about how many millions and billions of barrels they pump, $1 is all you need. When you pump 2 billion barrels, it's $2 billion. I'm sorry, it's more than that actually. Yeah.
Heidi's at $3.89 out there in Colorado.
At least it's coming down, but at 74 barrel, it should be getting down. It should be maybe they're trying to artificially inflate it, but it should be down lower than that already. Yeah, because if they don't lower it, they make it stay like that at 74 a barrel. When it gets to 50 a barrel, it'll still be like $2.50, which is crazy. Because at $50 a barrel, you should be paying 99 cents a gallon for gas. In Trump's first presidency, that's how cheap it got down here, 99 cents a gallon, which I hadn't seen since the 70s. But when I started driving, Jesse, gas was 29 cents a gallon for regular. And in no time at all, by the time I got my by the time I hit 17, gas had already went from that to 99 cents a gallon. Yeah, that was crazy. There was the oil shortage, the prices, which was completely all inflated. We know now, because now we know there's so much oil on the planet we don't know what to freaking do with it. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta go. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us and not beating Sean up or nothing. I appreciate that.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
And we got a new thing. We're gonna get a new beard, new hairdo to match the video that goes with our thing. We got a backdrop that has him in there with long hair. Well, not long hair, but anyway.
And don't forget, everybody, my show tonight, into the night, tomorrow night, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. I'm going to have my dear friend Cindy Sapp, and we are going to talk about everything you wanted to know about witches, but were afraid to ask. That's the topic of the show.
Okay, I'm assuming that was with a W. Okay.
Gratitude to you too, Heidi.
Peace, love, and laughter.
Yes. See you tomorrow, Kara.
Be good, guys. We can get out of here. Thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll see all of y'all real soon. Janice, it's uprntalkradio.com. Yes, uprntalkradio.com. On that note, good night, and Sean will see you tomorrow, and I'll see y'all Wednesday.